All right, I think we're back up. Let's hope so. The count, I'm not even sure because I wasn't looking. The pitch, swing, ground ball, foul. 2 outs on the inning. The batter, though, I can tell you who the batter is TJ Middlestat. He has at least 1 strike on him. I think it's a 2-2 count. Yes, it is a 2-2 count to TJ Middlestat. As the home plate umpire, Mike Gardner, lets me know. Thank you, Mike. Seems like we're on the same wavelength there. I was trying to get the stream back up. It just went out on me for no real reason. Pitched down and away. I'm sorry, it was a 3-2 count, and that will be ball 4. I couldn't see the one finger. So Middlestat walks, put runners on the corners. There are 2 outs as Ardiega came up with a big strikeout of Brent Cleveland. Christian Stringer led off the inning with a walk. I'm not sure when the stream cut out, but Stringer led off with a walk, stole a bag. Zach Cox grounded out and pushed Stringer over to third, where he stands right now. Cleveland would strike out with the infield drawn in. A big opportunity for the Wingnuts squandered there. They still are at the plate, though, as they have Dustin Geiger, their big bat in the lineup, at the plate. A one-time Lemur. The pitch, Geiger taking inside for a ball, 1-0. Geiger was with the Lemurs last year. Ended up getting traded as part of the deal that netted them Matt Sergey. In fact, they got Geiger from Wichita. Sent him to Gary, and then as the runner moving to second, coach is going to fake the throw and then look over at third. We'll see how they rule that. So moving up to second is Middlestat. And this lineup is a pretty solid.
That's stolen base by TJ Middlestat, sponsored by Kansas Lottery.
It's a pretty solid lineup for the Wichita Wingnuts. At least if you look at previous seasons. So Geiger at the plate. The pitch, 2 men on, ground ball, left side, chopper, down the line, foul. All right, I think we should be good now. The stream cut out for reasons that I don't know. I lowered a couple of settings, and hopefully we're good to go. I think maybe we were just maxing things out a little bit up here with the computer. Here comes the pitch. Taken in the dirt. It'll bounce off, hit the mask of coach. He has no idea where it went. It went along the third baseline, almost to the third base coach's box. A run will score as coming in is Stringer. Even if coach knew where it was, he couldn't have gotten to it to stop Stringer from scoring. It's now 1-0. Wingnuts lead the Lemurs. So the wildness of Ardiega costs him here. That ball bounced in the dirt, hit coach in the mask, and went careening off to his left. As Ardiega gets the sign, he fires, called strike 3. Geiger goes down looking. That'll end the inning. So in case you missed it, we'll recap it here. Stringer walked, got a stolen bag. Cox grounded out, pushed Stringer to third. Cleveland would strike out. Middlestat would walk. He'd reach second on a defensive indifference, and then Dustin Geiger at the plate would strike out looking, but there was a wild pitch, which allowed Stringer to score. It's 1-0. We go to the top of the second. Lemurs coming to the plate for the second time tonight, looking to tie things up with the Wingnuts.
To provide solutions in foreign trade through a highly satisfactory customs brokerage service. Uni-Trade has quality trained personnel devoted to the highest level of customer service. For all your transportation, distribution, and consolidation needs, it's Uni-Trade.
Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, the official team doctors of your Laredo Lemurs.
Capra inside for a ball, 1-0. Wingnuts leading the Lemurs right now by a score of 1-0. As I change the scoreboard here. A 1-0 pitch swung on and lined into the gap in left center. That'll be extra bases for Nieves. It'll bounce and hit off the middle of the wall there in left center, and Nieves will come to a stop, cruising into second with a leadoff double. So the Lemurs have gotten a leadoff hit each time here in the first 2 innings. Last time it was a leadoff single by Morrison. He actually would reach second on a wild pitch. So they've had no outs, runner on second pretty much to start the inning each time in the first and the second inning. They didn't score in the first. Morrison was actually stranded over at second base. Drew Martinez to the plate now for the Lemurs. So Abel Nieves will see his average that came into the ball game at 242 go up a little bit. He has 2 RBIs, no home runs on the year. Drew Martinez batting 244, 6 runs batted in, no home runs as of yet for the center fielder for the Lemurs. The pitch, and he bunts it. It'll go up in the air towards the first base coach's box, but past. And it's foul. Phipps will grab it coming out of the dugout and toss it to a young fan down there along the sides. As I look over at the first base coach's box, I'm trying to see who's coaching it. It's one of the players. And I can't quite tell who it is. It's one of the starting pitchers. I think it's either Scott Garner or Troy Marks. The pitch bunting is Martinez. He takes low as he pulls the bunt back. It's a called strike, 0-2. I think it's Marks. They have one of those, not a batting helmet, but like the catcher helmets, that base coaches will wear, or sometimes like John Olerud, who used to play first base for the Blue Jays, among other teams, would wear at first base. So I can't quite tell. It's kind of pulled low over his eyes as he's looking into the sun. Pitched low in the dirt, or the turf, to Martinez. 1-2 the count. Lemurs right now are on a 4-game winning streak. It's the second longest streak, well, I guess the third longest streak technically, in the league. No, the second longest streak. 5 games is the longest at the moment. That's by Sioux City, but they are just 5-6 after starting out the year 0-6. They've won their last 5. The pitch outside just a hair, and the count is now 2-2, evened up to Martinez. So the Lemurs coming into the series lead the South Division by 2 games as they are 6-4. Texas and Joplin both 4-6. Texas losing 3 in a row all to the Lemurs, and Joplin have lost their last 4 games. The Wingnuts have won a game, but they are 3-7 to start the year in their first 10 ball games. They are in last place right now, 3 games behind Laredo. Capra sets on the hill, looks at second, fires plateward. It's swung on and chopped towards the middle. Charging it was the second baseman Stringer and Vargas. They both converged. It looked like Vargas was about to time it up with the glove, make the play to first, but at the last second, Stringer stuck his bare hand out there and tipped it. And because he tipped it, Vargas had no chance at it. And all men are safe. Abel Nieves going from second to third, and Martinez will reach first. We'll see how they rule that. It was a tough play. The ball might have actually, if had Martinez not swung, been outside, but it was close. He reached for it a bit and just tapped it. Kind of almost hit it down. It bounced over the mound. And Matt Coach to the plate. Well, we'll see, or try and see what they ruled it. I'm not seeing a game live going here, as it's not pulling up on my computer for some unknown reason. The pitch to Matt Coach, taken right down the heart of the plate for a strike, 0-1. Coach batting .212, a home run, 4 runs. Batted in so far this season for the catcher for Laredo. Right-handed hitter is Coach. A swing ground ball towards the third baseman. It's bobbled by Cox. He looks to second at first, decides to go instead to first base, as sliding into second was Martinez. And he does get Coach 5-3 the putout. It was a bang-bang play, though, at the bag at first. But Coach was out by about a step, maybe step and a half. Reggie Wilson to the plate, 1 out. Martinez over at second base, and Nieves still at third base. He wasn't trying to go on that. But it was bobbled there a bit by Cox, who I found out before the game is usually a second baseman. He's playing third base, but I'm sure he's played plenty of third in his life. The pitch taken low for a strike, 0-1. The batter, Wilson, the right fielder for the Lemurs on the year, batting .229 on RBI, no home runs. Defense playing him straight up in the outfield. The infield, well, the corners are in. Middle defense is back. Pitch low and away for a ball, 1-1 the count. 1-0 the score. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts right now. And I noticed something when I first walked into the ballpark. Well, not walked in, but got up to the booth to look out over the ballpark. The 1-1 pitch, Wilson taking low and on the outside corner, called a strike, 1-2. That lower corner of the zone. Wilson's going to take a step out of the box, take a little hack. But here in Wichita at Lawrence Dumont Stadium, it's one of the oldest ballparks in the country. They used to have this green, like the green monster, how that scoreboard is. The pitch down in the dirt outside, 2-2, Wilson taking. you know, that metal green. Well, they had the same metal green. It wasn't a wall. It was just a scoreboard out in left center. It was an old one. They had a goose that would go lay an egg on every inning that the opposing team didn't score. There's ball 4 to Wilson, and he will draw a walk to load the bases. Oh, well, I thought, I looked at my book, I had 2 and 2. Wilson thought it was 3 and 2 or maybe 3 and 1. Now it's ball 3. He started headed down. He had me fooled. Home plate umpire Mike Gardner says 2 and 2 or 3 and 2 now. It was just 2 and 2. He had me confused because I thought it was just now 3 and 2, and it was. Wilson swings and lifts one high in the air into right. Pedaling around is Prigatano. He finally figures out where it's going to land, makes the catch. He fires plate, whereas Nieves is trying to score. Nieves slides in with the hand, and he's safe. The tag was too late. An expert slide by Nieves as the throw did beat him, I think, but he kind of slid with his body to the outside. He didn't have his hand down the whole way. He just kind of placed the hand on home plate and then immediately touched it off. I don't know that Dean ever even touched him. So a sac fly for Reggie Wilson, and the game is tied up at 1. Boy, last couple of ball games, we've had some bang-bang plays at the plate on some sac flies or sac fly attempts. So already a couple of, now a few, it's that 3 very, very close calls in the ball game. We're only in the top of the second with 1 out. Pitch is squared at, and they're going to say he went through the zone with it. That's Alvaro Rondon. Sorry, 2 outs in the second. 2 outs, top of the second. Runner on second. That is Martinez. 0-1 the count here to Rondon, who on the year is batting .269. He has 2 RBIs, no home runs. Martinez at second with a lot of speed. If Rondon can poke one in the outfield here, he might be able to drive him in. 1-1 the score, Lemurs and Wingnuts. We are in the top of the second. Pitch high for a ball. 1-1 now the count to Rondon. Capra, the lefty on the hill for Wichita. He steps off the rubber and wants to go through the signs again. Now he steps back on. Rondon still just hanging out in the box. He readies himself there in the right-handed box. The pitch from the lefty inside. There's ball 2. 2-1 the count. Rondon, a switch hitter. So against the lefty, he will bat from the right side. Capra peering in, sets out there on the mound, delivers the 2-1 pitch, swung on, grounded back up the middle, and not quite through. Leo Vargas, the shortstop, managed to dive and grab it almost behind him. Right as the ball was about to slip into center field, Rondon will have himself an infield single as no throw was made by Vargas. He looked actually over at third to make sure Martinez wasn't trying to round third and score. Martinez will hold up there at third base, an infield single for Rondon. So 2 outs, runners on the corners, and Ty Morrison, the left-handed left fielder, to the plate.
Left fielder number 35, Ty Morrison.
Morrison digging in against the lefty Capra. Pitch into the turf outside, 1-0. Nice pickup there by Dean. Dean, the catcher, has been with the team for a few years now. He's been the backup the last couple of seasons under manager Kevin Hooper. And this year, well, Hooper's gone. Not that Hooper was keeping him from starting, but the pitch up and in. Hooper's gone, and Dean is now starting. 2-0 the count. I think they're kind of grooming Dean, and this is the year he's starting for Wichita. And he's been solid as a backup catcher. In fact, they would play him at other positions as well. He played some outfield and and even some first base for the Wingnuts over the last year or two. Pitch fouled away. 2-1 the count to Morrison, who singled in his first time up at the plate. And I've always been impressed with what Dean brings to the plate, or brings to the table for the Wingnuts. They actually gave Drew Martinez a single on that ball earlier in the inning. 2-1 pitch, Morrison a swing and a miss. Count now 2-2, it evens up. And the pitch down and inside. Moving on the pitch was Rondon. He will reach second. Should be a stolen bag. They gave a stolen bag in pretty much the same situation to TJ Middlestat last inning. So the count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ty Morrison. Runners on second and third now. The pitch from Capra, payoff pitch, taken right over the, Morrison doesn't like it. It looked like it was over the heart of the plate, or at least outer half, and at the knees, but Morrison didn't like it. Maybe my vantage point, I just saw that, but it's a strikeout looking that'll end the inning. Lemurs score 1, but they leave 2 in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the second, 1-1. Lemurs and Wingnuts tied up.
Sweet seat upgrade. Upgrading your general admission seats.
South Texas families never strike out with Driscoll Health Plan. Catch the value-added services we pitch to our Medicaid members. Enjoy a free membership to specific boys and girls clubs. Receive gift cards for completing Texas healthcare checkups. Restrictions and limitations may apply. Visit us at DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Falcon Bank and the Laredo Lemurs are a winning combination. At Falcon, they know what counts. Personalized service, attention to detail, and
And the pitch swung on and flied to right down the line. It looks like it's hooking foul. It'll land in the Lemurs bullpen and then go out of play. The ballpark here, you have the bullpens which are in the field of play. Well, at least the Lemurs is. The Wingnuts is kind of in a corner. Down the right field line, the Lemurs are just about, well, the home plate part of the bullpen is about 15, 20 feet from the right field line. The mound part is a little bit, well, about the same, I guess. 15 to 20, maybe about 25 feet, as it's a little deeper. But it's right up against the wall there. But there's no other wall protecting them. It's protecting them. It's in that, on that field of play. A called strike, a swing, and a pop-up right side. Foul territory again, but this will get out of play and land in the first row seats, and a fan missed it. Right behind the dugout. He tried to bare hand catch it, and it went right through the mitts. So staying alive is Richard Prigatano. Here in the bottom of the second. 1-1 the game. 1-1 the score between the Lemurs and the Wingnuts. The wind and fire from Artiega. A check swing. They'll say he went. It's in the dirt. Coach blocks it, puts the tag on him, and that's out number 1. So Artiega a little wild here in his first start with the Lemurs, but he's still making it work here. He has 3 strikeouts so far through his first 4 outs. Harrison Kane to the plate, another former Lemur. He played with the Lemurs back in 2014. The pitch to Kane, taken for a strike. Righty-righty matchup. Kane batting .424 with 6 RBIs, no home runs. That pitch will miss. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Now the wind and fire. Taken low for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike the count to Kane. Yeah, Kane played in 2014 with the Lemurs. Spent last year with the Wichita Wingnuts as one of their outfielders. Swing and a miss. Count evens up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So it looks like Artiega's working out the kinks here, as he's being a little more effective than he was last inning, or at least as he started last inning. I'm sure it's a little jittery out there on the mound. The pitch swung on and lifted into shallow center. Running out for it is Rondon and Pulfer. Martinez comes in, but Rondon, the second baseman, calls them all off and makes the catch himself, out number 2. Yeah, Kane last year actually started the year with Sioux Falls, played 38 games with them before ending the year with Wichita. And he played 2013 and 2014 with Laredo, 70 games in 2013, 87 in 2014. And Kane, in his first 2 years as a pro, played in Amarillo in 2011 and in 2012. So Kane has played 5 seasons with 4 different American Association teams. His whole career spent in the Ol AA. To the plate, Brent Dean, the catcher for the Wingnuts. The pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. Dean hitting .257, 3 RBIs, no home runs on the year. He's been around a while with this Wingnuts team, as I mentioned. As the backup catcher, the pitch, Dean swings and hits one high in the air, but it's shallow left. Morrison looks like he's got a bead on it. He'll range over into the shadows, make the catch coming out of the shadows, and that'll end the inning. We go to the top of the third here in Wichita, 1-1. Wingnuts and Lemurs tied.
There's a reason why Popeyes creates some of the best tasting.
1-1 the score. Lemurs and Wingnuts pitch outside, and it's now 2-0 for Pulfer. Pulfer 0 for 1, grounded out to short, and a bang-bang play at the bag. A play that Pete came out and argued about. Pitch called a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Capra, the pitcher, originally drafted by the Tigers back in the 49th round in 2005. He's 29 years of age, out of Arvada West High School in Arvada, California. But he didn't sign. Said he went to college. And he went to college at Wichita State, just down the road here from the ballpark. The pitch swung on and lifted into right center. That might fall, but it won't, as the speed of Harrison Kane tracks it down out there in right center field. Out number 1. But Capra was – good thing he didn't sign after high school, because he was drafted 3 years later out of Wichita State by the Oakland Athletics in the 4th round of the draft. So he jumped 45 rounds to eventually be drafted
Third baseman, number 28, Travis Baker. He strikes out during this at bat. You can get
by the A's.
Shinerbach draft beers for $3.50 for the next 10 minutes.
Oh, and the camera fell down here. It's at an angle, which is a little precarious, so I can try and get as much of the field as possible. The batter, Travis Danker, at the plate. The pitch taken down low. Danker taps the plate. He's down 0-2. He has a 2-0 count. There's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. The count to Danker. He struck out his first time up. He's the beer batter of the game, so he got the fans the beer the first time. On a pitch he thought was ball 4. Count was 3-2 the last time, and he actually didn't realize it was ball 4 until he was standing on first base. The wind and the pitch, and it's ball 4. So he walks on 4 straight pitches this time. He does draw the walk.
Designated hitter number 55, Dennis Phipps.
Dennis Phipps, right-handed here at the plate. He is 0 for 1 with the strikeout as well. Capra struck him and Danker out, but Phipps gets the better of him this time, grounding the first pitch through the left side of the infield for a single. Phipps continues to stay hot here. He has a hit in every single ball game since joining the Lemurs here this season. Started the year in the Mexican League
Number 13, Abel Nieves.
before getting released and coming here to the Lemurs. Abel Nieves to the plate. He's already has a double in the ball game and has scored the Lemurs' only run. So Laredo's hoping here for some more hits out of his bat, as the pitch will come inside and will go out of play. It was a wild pitch, and Danker, who was moving after it was out of, he was already on his way to third after it had gone wild. But they're saying it's a stop at third base as it went into the dugout, the third base dugout. It looked like it hit Phipps for a second. I thought it hit Nieves. I thought it might have, but it tipped off the glove of Dean and went wide. So a wild pitch, I guess. And a ball that went out of play, and now with a 1-0 count to Nieves, runners on second and third. Corners are in. The pitch. Nieves swings, grounds it right to the third baseman. Cox moves a little bit to his left. Now he fires to first for out number 1. 5-3, the put out of Nieves. Out number 2. So 2 outs. Drew Martinez to the plate. He has a single in the ball game, an infield single at that. He grounded one up the middle, and there was some confusion between the 2 middle infielders as to who was going to field the ball, and it looked like Vargas had a clear shot at it. Don't know that he would have had Martinez anyways, but it would have been close. The second baseman Stringer stuck his bare hand out and tipped it before Vargas could get to it. Here comes the pitch from Capra, taken on the outside corner, a called strike to Martinez, 0-1. Some more about Anthony Capra. He started his independent career in 2012, joining the Wichita Wingnuts. Also played with them in 2013, 2014, and 2015. Spent some time in the Mexican League as well last year with Monclava. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2. The count now on the center fielder for the Lemurs, Drew Martinez. Lefty-lefty matchup. And boy, that was a big out of Nieves and not letting a run score. As you have the advantage here with the righty, or with the handedness between the pitcher and the hitter. You did not with Nieves, and Nieves is a pretty solid hitter. Pitch in the dirt outside, 1-2. Not that Martinez isn't. But to have the slight advantage there with the handedness is something that's kind of significant. Lefties are typically a lot worse against lefties than righties are at the plate. The pitch into the turf, bouncing in front of home plate. Laying off of it was Martinez. Count now 2-2. Matt Coach waiting on deck should Martinez reach. Again, Danker over at third base, and at second base is Phipps. Danker walked and Phipps singled. That is how they reached base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, break-even pitch, down and away. That'll be ball 3. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count, 1-1, Lemurs and Wingnuts tied here in the top of the third at Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita, Kansas. I can hear a train off in the distance. A nice view of the downtown. Here as we're right in the middle of downtown, or I guess right on the edge of downtown. You can see into the middle. The pitch outside and low, ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning issued by Capra, and that'll bring up the catcher, Matt Coach, 0-for-1 with a ground out in the ball game. With the bases loaded, big situation here for the Lemurs to tack on some runs, but they're going to have to do it with 2 away. And there's going to be a mound visit. I believe that's the pitching coach for the Wichita Wingnuts. That's Luke Robertson. So Robertson still with the team. Mentioned a little bit earlier that the manager from the last number of years, Kevin Hooper, no longer with the Wingnuts. He got a job as the infield coordinator, or the minor league infield coordinator with the San Diego Padres. And he's been replaced by Pete Rose Jr. in his first year with the Wichita Wingnuts here in independent ball. And now home plate umpire Mike Gardner is going to break up the mound visit there between Brent Dean, Luke Robertson, and the starter Anthony Capra. So bases loaded. Over at first base, you have the fastest person on the field, or on the base paths right now, in Drew Martinez. The second fastest in Phipps over at second. The pitch to Coach bounces in front of the plate, blocked by Dean nicely. 1-0. And over at third, Travis Danker. So it's kind of how you want it. You want the slowest guy at third, the fastest guy at first for a potential score on an extra base hit, as he has the furthest to go on one hit. Not that Phipps is a slow runner either at second. Here comes the 1-0. Coach taking. It's a little bit high. 2-0. I'm almost right on top of home plate, it seems. In fact, this spot, a little precarious. Foul balls come screaming back here. There's actually a hole in the back of the wall, in the drywall here. It goes pretty deep. Probably 2-3 inches. Here comes the pitch. Called a strike. 2-1 the count to Coach. And it is a round shape about the size of a baseball. So I am assuming that it's from a foul ball. I had one come in the booth last year. It actually hit the underside of the window that is open and then bounced off the top of my computer. The pitch taken low, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count to Coach. I don't wonder if he's taking all the way to maybe draw that ball 4, but I'm sure if he gets something real nice, he's going to swing at it. He's probably got a selective pitch here as it's on the outside corner. Nice work by Capper, not giving him something over the heart of the plate and working the count full. Coach having some words with the home plate umpire, Mike Gardner. Not anger words. I think he just says, hey, I want that call when my pitcher throws it there too. Look like a strike. Coach the catcher, he's got to make sure he's working those umpires. 3-2 pitch, all the runners moving, and it's inside, ball 4. The bases loaded walk puts the Lemurs in the lead, 2-1. Danker touches home, and the carousel keeps on rolling for the Lemurs. To the plate, Reggie Wilson. So give Matt Coach an RBI on the walk. That'll put Phipps at third, Martinez at second, and Coach over at first. Wilson at the plate, lefty-lefty matchup, and he swings the first pitch, and it's hit hard up the middle, but Capra grabs it with the glove and flips to first for the out, 1-3. So the Lemurs do get a run, but that is all. We go to the bottom of the third. They strand the bases loaded. 2-1, Lemurs on top of the Wingnuts.
Miller Lite. We invented light beer. And you're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
For all of your vehicle collision repair and paint needs, there's only one place to turn, Mike's Paint Place. Mike's Paint Place has computerized color matching and digital imaging. They also do full frame and suspension repairs. Stop by and see Mike's Paint Place today at 6410 Polaris Drive in Laredo.
Texas Outlaw Grill is a proud sponsor of your Laredo Lemurs, specializing in outlaw delicacies such as the Texican, the Gringo, and the Bandit hot dog and their ever-famous barbecue burger. Be the first to try their groundbreaking Cabrito hamburger and Cabrito hot dog. For all to-go orders, catering, and fundraising information, go by 5209 Springfield Suite number 4 or call 956-771-1919. That's Texas Outlaw Grill.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que le salió el primer diente a tu hijo? ¿Que tu abuelita aprendió a tuitear? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? La respuesta es la misma, pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres, pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo, carne asada con ganas, solo en H-E-B.
Leo Vargas will lead off the innings, and we're just going to leave the field view on for the commercials because I was being told the commercials weren't working right with the little lemur loop going. 2-1 the score, Vargas taking a strike, 0-1. Vargas at the plate for the first time tonight, ninth batter in the order, batting .250, 5 RBIs, no home runs for the shortstop from Wichita. Well, he's not really from Wichita. He just plays for Wichita. Pitch swung on and hit hard into center. Running back, reaching up is Martinez. He'll make the catch on the move for out number 1. So a long fly out for Vargas. And Christian Stringer to the plate. Back to the top of the order for the Wingnuts. Lemurs leading 2-1 over Wichita. First time these two teams have met this season. They will meet a number of times this year. They are division rivals, and this rivalry has really, it's been a good one in the American Association. Stringer, the lefty against the righty, and Artiega, pitch called a strike, 0-1. Stringer saw 3 straight balls the first time up against Artiega before seeing a strike, and then walked on the 5th pitch of the at-bat. Yes, no switch hitters on this ball club. Oh, sorry, Tyler Earps is a switch hitter. He's not in the lineup, though. So no one in the lineup is a switch hitter. That pitch Missed for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that pitch swung and grounded back to the mound. Artiega reaches out with the glove and snares it, flipping to the bag at first after running halfway there. Out number 2 here in the third. Nice defensive work there by Artiega, and Zach Cox to the plate. I apologize for the poor video quality today. We're still having issues as we changed a whole bunch of things to try to get things working in Grand Prairie. And now that we have better internet, we have to try and figure out how to get the best quality. Pitch flied out to right field, and tracking it down is Reggie Wilson. There's out number 3 off the bat of Zach Cox. So a quick inning, just 5 pitches. They're thrown by Artiega in the third. We go to the top of the fourth. Lemurs back to the plate. They lead 2-1 over the Wingnuts.
Getting hungry? Popeyes always hits the spot. Make sure to stop by any Popeyes location to try out Popeyes' new Smoky Garlic Chili Chicken Dinner. It includes 4 smoky garlic chicken tenderloins served with Popeyes' new garlic herb dipping sauce, your choice of a signature side, and a buttermilk biscuit for just $4.99. Promotion starts Monday, May 25th.
Right now, when you sign up for a Gold's Gym membership, you'll get tons of extras completely free. Confidence, free. Compliments from your coworkers, free. And the desire to wear tiny bathing suits, you guessed it, free. You'll be stronger with extras, and you'll be stronger with Gold's Gym. Know your own strength. Tiny bathing suit not included.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que por fin compraste carro nuevo? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? ¿Que hoy empieza tu fin de semana? ¿O que hoy se acaba tu novela y mañana empieza otra? La respuesta es la misma, pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres, pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. El carnesazo de H-E-B es una pachanga de sabor. Solo tienes que invitar a los compadres, prender la parrillita, ponerle unas fajitas, costillitas, chuletitas, salchichitas y, ¿por qué no?, hasta un pollo mariposita. Y que no se te olvide la musiquita y hasta una buena bailadita para un gran carnesazo. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo.
Alvaro Rondon to the plate. He leads off the inning. Here comes the pitch from Capra. Inside and low for ball 1. Rondon 1 for 1 today with a single. He also has a stolen bag on the evening. Anthony Capra is still working out there on the hill. The pitch swung on and fouled away right side. Tracking it is Dean, the catcher, and the first baseman Geiger. And it'll be Geiger in foul territory making the catch for out number 1.
Good news. This season, if the Wingnuts win at home, you win at Applebee's. If the Wingnuts win, pick up your coupon as you exit the stadium for a half-price entree with a purchase of an entree. Left fielder number 35, Ty Morrison.
So Ty Morrison to the plate. Left-handed batter against the left-handed pitcher. 1 out. Morrison squares around, pulls back. Ball 1. Morrison's been trying that a lot, bunting for base hits. I think he has 2 bunts for base hits this season. He's been pretty successful. Here comes the pitch from Capra. He squares around again, but pulls back. 2 balls and no strikes. Morrison, a former member of the Rays organization. Ahead 2-0 against Capra, the former member of the A's organization. The wind and delivery taken outside, ball 3. So Capra falling behind Morrison here to start off the inning. And Morrison has not been the greatest against lefties this year. A pitch called a strike. Get me over. 3 balls, 1 strike. This year, Morrison, 182. He's 2 for 11 against lefties. Now, still small sample size. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, just missing outside. Morrison will walk with 1 out.
Number 10, J.D. Pulford.
And J.D. Pulford to the plate. The shortstop for the Lemurs. Pulford 0 for 2 in the ballgame. Pulver, the righty, against lefties this year, coming into the ball game, batting .300. 3 of his hits have come against lefties. First pitch missing for a ball, 1-0. Pulver, though, 0 for 2 against the lefty in Capra today. Martinez over at first base has some speed. We'll see if he tries to test Capra's move over there at first base by trying to steal second. Capra sets, looks over a couple times, and there goes Morrison. The pitch was Pulver squared around, pulled back. Dean could not handle it, and it's a stolen bag for Morrison. Apparently the internet isn't the greatest here either, but it is a lot better than it was in Grand Prairie. I did a little speed test, and it's 35 times better here, faster than it was in Grand Prairie. The pitch taken for a strike. As the count now 2-1 to Pulver. But I think that you could use me as a resource and still be twice as fast as the internet in Grand Prairie. A pitch 2-1, swing and fought off, grounded towards the right side. The second baseman Stringer coming in. He'll make the play, throwing to first for the out. Morrison will advance to third on the 4-3 putout of Pulver. The amount of time it would take you to Google something, you could ask someone. Probably call them on the phone, they'd answer. Look it up on their computer and tell you before you would find out. This internet, a little bit faster here. So with 2 outs, runner on third base, Travis Danker steps to the plate. Danker 0 for 1 with a walk, a run scored in the ball game as well. And if you ask Danker, he'll tell you he should have 2 walks. The pitch, Danker taking inside for a ball, 1-0. They called him on a full count pitch. He checked his swing, and from here it looked like he did check it, but the home plate umpire, Mike Gardner, said he didn't. So instead of having ball 4, he had strike 3. 1-0 the count to Danker. Lemurs trying to add to their 2-1 lead here in the top of the third. A swing and a miss by Danker. Sorry, top of the fourth. 1-1 the count. Pretty solid crowd here at the ballpark for this Memorial Day ball game. Hope you all had some fun today celebrating this Memorial Day, as we remember all of our troops, past and present. The pitch into the turf in front of home plate. Dean blocks it, 2-1 the count. Memorial Day, always a great time to cook out. And if you're in warmer climates, get in the pool. It is still May 30th, so if you're in a cooler area, it might still be too cold for the pool. Or if you're one of those with a boat living near a lake, go out on the lake. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count to Danker. The pitch taken inside and low, 3 balls and 1 strike. So both pitchers going high counts to batters here. Capra setting on the hill. And the pitch. Danker swings, grounds one hard towards short. It takes a bunch of hops on this turf. Vargas had to back up on it, throw very deep into the outfield, and that'll get Danker out at first. 6-3 the putout. Lemurs trying to run on third. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 2-1. Lemurs leading the Wingnuts.
Carne asada con ganas, solo en H-E-B.
Before your Memorial Day party gets going, drive over to Ashley Furniture Home Store this week for our best Memorial Day sale ever. Get dramatic price reduction store-wide or no interest until January 2021. Choose from sofas and sectionals, all at unbelievably low prices. Plus find savings on beds and amazing deals on dining rooms. It's our best Memorial Day sale ever, so don't wait. Hurry over to Ashley Furniture Home Store right now. Ashley Furniture Home Store. This is home. 4520 San Bernardo Avenue, Laredo, Texas, 956-712-2401. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Uni-Trade continues to provide solutions in foreign trade through a highly satisfactory customs brokerage service. Uni-Trade has quality trained personnel devoted to the highest level of customer service. For all your transportation, distribution, and consolidation needs, it's Uni-Trade.
Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, the official team doctors of your Laredo Lemurs. Now with 2 convenient locations to better serve you. Our north location is located at 9652 McPherson Road, Suite 12. Our south location is located at 5102 State Highway 359. Laredo Sports Medicine offers an array of services from physical therapy to our newest service, orthopedic surgery.
Yes. It's on a radio in a backyard in between innings. The grass was mowed this morning, and the grill smells like heaven. And what do you know? Your friends just arrived with a 24-pack of Miller Lite, along with a few new friends to enjoy them with. Here's hoping we're right, and you're not just stuck in traffic. Here's hoping.
Brent Cleveland leads off the inning. First pitch up and in. Look out, Brent Cleveland. 1-0 the count. Lemurs lead 2-1 over the Wichita Wingnuts here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the pitch to Cleveland swung on and fouled away right side. Made a little change there between innings to try and smooth out the video stream. And I don't know if it made it better or if it made it worse. 1-1 the count here to Cleveland. As I try and test things out, the pitch swung on and popped up foul over my head. Count now 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch, Cleveland fouls one left side down towards the third base coach's box. Still 1-2 to Cleveland. He's had a pretty successful career, has Brent Cleveland. He made it to the big leagues at one point. 1-2 pitch taken just outside. Goodness, that was close. 2-2 the count. Yes, Brent Cleveland made it to the big leagues with the Detroit Tigers. Pitch inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count to Cleveland as he leads off the 4th. Bottom half of the inning, Lemurs leading the Wingnuts 2-1. But Cleveland played in 31 games in 2006 with Detroit. And then the following year in 2007, he played in 13 games, and in 2008, 11 games with the Tigers. The pitch, Cleveland taking low, ball 4. And so after getting ahead 1-2, Ardiego will walk Cleveland. He then changed organizations, went over to the Braves, made it to the big leagues with the Braves in 2010 for 4 games. But that was it. Last time he played in the big leagues was 2010. He played an affiliated ball back in 2013 with the Diamondback system, getting picked up out of Wichita. Actually, no, he got released. No, he did get picked up out of Wichita. Went to the Diamondback system. The pitch taken up high for a ball, 1-0. TJ Middlestat, the batter. Walked his first time up, runner on first, no outs. Bottom of the 4th. Lemurs lead 2-1 over the Wingnuts. Middlestat, a guy who can play a bunch of positions. He's playing left field for him tonight. The pitch swung on and foul tipped back into the glove of the catcher, Matt Coach. Middlestat, left-handed hitter, originally drafted by the Brewers back in 2010 out of Cal State University Long Beach in the 44th round. There's a throw to first. Back in time, though, Cleveland, plenty of time standing up. Spent some time in the Brewer system from 2010 to 2013, making it as high as AA Huntsville. Spent 2014, his first year in independent ball, with the Kansas City T-Bones. And then with Wichita last season, Middlestat played 98 games last year with Wichita, 100 games for Kansas City in 2014. Last season hitting .258 with 16 home runs. He hit .268 with 16 home runs in 2014 with Kansas City. Time is called. Nieves and Coach will go talk to Ardiego out there on the hill. Last year, Middlestat with Wichita played 5 games at second base, 83 games at third base, 11 games in left field, and 3 games in right field. Like I said, a guy who can play multiple positions, second, third, and the corner outfields. I'm sure he can probably play some first if he really had to. The pitch to Middlestat, down and away for a ball. 2-1 the count. Middlestat 5'10", 185. Artiega sets out there on the hill, delivers the 2-1 pitch inside. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. As time is called, Rondon's going to come in from second base and talk to Artiega. So a mound visit by the second baseman. Artiega with his first appearance in a Lemurs uniform. She pitched with the Phillies organization, pitched in Lakewood this season, in fact. There's a throw to first. Back standing is Cleveland. Artiega, though, made 9 appearances all out of the bullpen with the Lakewood Blue Claws in the South Atlantic League this season, going 1-1 with an ERA of 8.05. So he struggled a little bit there in Lakewood. There's a called strike, 3-2. Count now full to Middlestat. 19 innings pitched for Artiega there in Lakewood this year. He had 8 walks, 22 strikeouts in 19 innings. Gave up 18 runs, 17 earned on 29 hits. Artiega looks over at first base before coming set. Cleveland getting a lead. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch, low, ball 4. Middlestat will walk, and Artiega's walked the first 2 batters of the inning. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Lemurs leading 2-1, but the Wingnuts are now threatening. And now Ben Moore's going to make a mound visit as Nieves, Coach Danker, and Artiega all out there on the hill. I'll take this time to try to adjust the settings here, or what settings I can without ending the stream.
Hey fans, when you're hot and thirsty, there's only one thing that can quench that fire. A tall, ice-cold refreshment. And good thing there's a quick shot close by. Right now during Fountain Fest, you can get a 32-ounce fountain drink for just $70.
So we'll see if that helped at all. Hopefully it did. To the plate, Dustin Geiger, right-handed hitter. First baseman for the Wichita Wingnuts. He'll swing at the first pitch he sees and hit it hard, a deep left. Morrison's going to reach up and make a fantastic catch. My goodness, I thought for sure that was extra bases and run scoring. I think Geiger did too, but Morrison tracks it down out there in left field for out number 1. I don't think those changes really helped. I don't think they did much of anything. But it's still better than what we had last series. You at least have something. My voice and some jerky video. To the plate, Richard Prigatano, the right fielder. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 1 out on the inning. Runners are first and second. Hard hit ball up the middle. Pulfer can't get to it. It goes into center. Martinez is going to fire plateward. The throw will be cut off by Nieves. He'll go to third with it and get the runner Middlestat. Middlestat tried to go first to third, and smart play there by Nieves to cut off the ball as he was coming across the infield from first. Cut it off just on that third base side of the mound and through to third to get Middlestat. A run does score as Cleveland scores from second, but they get the out. Ending up at second base is Prigatano on the throw. So he'll have an RBI. 2-2 the score, but there's now 2 outs on the inning as Middlestat gunned down. We'll go 8-3-5 on the putout of Middlestat. To the plate, Harrison Kane, the center fielder for the Wingnuts, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Hit one out to shallow right. Rondon, the second baseman, made the play. 2 outs, Geiger at second. The pitch to Kane. He'll swing at the first pitch and foul it off right side and out of play. 0-1. Artiega sets out there on the hill. He'll look over at second where Geiger gets a lead. Charging in was Rondon at the last second, but he'll fire away. That ball hit down the line. It'll be just a few feet foul. Wilson couldn't get to it. But it's okay as it lands foul harmlessly. 0-2 the count to Kane.
Listen to the voice of the Wingnuts, Rob Lau, to catch every piece of action during the season. All Wingnuts games are also streamed worldwide at KGSO.com. That's KGSO.
I'm told the audio is fine, but the video is not. I'll try to figure the rest out tomorrow. 0-2 the count to Kane. Ardiega sets on the hill, looks over at second again. The pitch outside, well outside. And it's 1-2 to Kane. So Ardiega, having spent 6 seasons in affiliated ball. Now his first season, or his first taste of independent ball. He'll fire the 1-2 pitch, swung on and lined down the right field line also. Just a few feet foul. Count still 1-2. Last year, though, Ardiega was at Williamsport in the New York Penn League short season, where in 13 appearances, all starts, he went 4-3 with a 3.11 earned run average. So he had a decent year last year at short season Williamsport, but this year got off to a really rough start in Lakewood before getting released by the Phillies. Here comes the move towards second as Rondon was backing away from second base. Ardiega made a move there. Geiger will go back and touch the bag. Ardiega sets again. And the pitch to Kane, a check swing. The pitch was low for a ball. They will appeal. the third base umpire standing behind the mound, and he turns and looks behind him. As coach pointed at him, he looks behind. He didn't give a signal. I don't think Harrison Kane came close to going around. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch, low again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count to Kane. Kane with the tan bat handle and the almost a cherry-colored, I say cherry, like a deep red color, like a redwood color barrel of the bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes, runner on second, 2 outs on the inning. The pitch swung and fought off foul just to my right. It'll hit off the roof right above the suite level and the press box level here at the ballpark. It's pretty close here to coming to the booth, but a few suites over. Count still full, 3-2 to Kane. Ardiega sets on the hill, looking over again at second, and the 3-2 pitch just outside by an inch or 2, and it's ball 4. 2-out walk. Puts runners on first and second for the Wingnuts, and Brent Dean to the plate. Catcher for the Wingnuts. Dean, who went to the University of California, Los Angeles, good old UCLA, from Culver City, California, 29 years of age. He'll turn 30 this July. Started his career in Sioux City. The pitch to Dean taken high for a ball, 1-0. He then made his way over to after 1 year in Sioux City, actually just 6 games, got picked up by the Brewers in 2010 and played in their organization into 2013. Here comes the pitch. Runners are moving, grounded up the middle for a base knock. 1 run will come across the score. The throw will go to third base, sliding in head first. And safe is Harrison Kane as he goes first to third. Dean with an RBI single. Prigatano scoring from second. I kept saying Geiger was at second. It was actually Prigatano. So with 2 runs here in the 4th, it's now a 3-2 ball game. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts. Runners on the corners for Wichita. Dean on first and Kane over at third. Leo Vargas to the plate. Vargas led off the 3rd inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th here. He led off the 3rd inning flying out. Here comes the pitch to Vargas. And Dean, the catcher, trying to steal second. The throw is not in time. He'll have himself a swiped bag. One and 0 the count to Vargas. Pitch was down and out of the zone. Vargas flew out to center his first time at the plate. He was with Wichita last year. The pitch swung on and a chopper towards short. Charging it is Pulfer, and he won't be able to get the ball out of his glove in time to throw Vargas out. Had some issues there, and Vargas will reach first. We'll see how they rule that. But Kane will score from third. It's the third run of the inning. It's now 4-2. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts, and going second to third was Dean. That ball had a high bounce off the turf, and it wasn't hit very hard, so charging in, having to come a long way, was Pulfer. And I don't know if he had issues getting it out of his glove or if he had pulled it and realized he wasn't going to get Vargas, so he held on to it. Back to the top of the order, though, with Christian Stringer with 2 outs, runners on the corners. Ardiega on the hill. There is some action in the Lemurs bullpen. The pitch, Stringer swings and hits one on a line into right. That'll score a run. Phipps will field it on the hop and get it to the infield. Each runner going up a base, so Dean scores. It's now a 5-2 ball game. And Stringer with an RBI single of his own here in the fourth, his first hit of the ball game. Going from first to second was Vargas. They did give Vargas a single. Earlier, the pitch swung on by Zach Cox. He'll foul it off. And Cox now the last batter to hit here in the fourth inning. So the Wingnuts, every Wingnut batter in the lineup has seen at least one pitch this inning. Well, the 0-1, Cox swings and fouls it again back towards the screen, 0-2. Ardiega getting the sign from coach. Cox, a former member of the Marlins organization, at one point rated the number 62 prospect back in 2011 in the Marlins system. Pitched low for a ball. Sorry, actually, he was still part of the Cardinal system then. He got traded the next year to the Marlins. Count 1-2. Pitch lined right, or grounded right back up the middle on a hop. Ardiega snags it and throws to first for the last out of the inning. So finally, the inning ends for the Lemurs, but 4 runs scored. It's now a 5-2 ball game. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts.
It's Miller time.
South Texas families never strike out with Driscoll Health Plan. Catch the value-added services we pitch to our Medicaid members. Enjoy a free membership to specific boys and girls clubs. Receive gift cards for completing Texas healthcare checkups. Restrictions and limitations may apply. Visit us at DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Falcon Bank and the Laredo Lemurs are a winning combination. At Falcon, they know what counts: personalized service, attention to detail, and genuine commitment to helping customers achieve their dreams. Falcon Bank, guided by faith, grounded by family, and committed to you.
The Chop House Cheddar Burger is back at Whataburger.
First of all, you start with a large bun, 2 patties, shredded cheddar cheese,
a creamy sauce,
creamy steak sauce. My personal favorite part is the onions, the grilled onions and bacon.
grilled perfection.
It's good stuff. Love it. You take a bite. It's hard to describe. It's hard to put into words. The Chop House Cheddar Burger.
Chop House Cheddar Burger. It's back.
Chavarrias is still growing strong. Visit chavarriasplumbing.com and go Lemurs.
There's a reason why Popeyes creates some of the best tasting chicken in the world. We were born in New Orleans, Louisiana, the land of good fun and great cooking. Spicy flavor is a way of life in New Orleans, and everything we make reflects it. From our Popeyes bona fide chicken and handcrafted tenders to our home-style mashed potatoes with
Dennis Phipps leads off the inning for the Lemurs here in the top of the fifth. Anthony Capra is still on the hill, and I look over at the Lemurs pen, and there's every pitcher is standing up. The pitch to Phipps swung on and popped up on the infield. All the infielders converging. It'll be Geiger, the first baseman, calling for it. He'll make the catch behind the mound. For out number 1. One away here in the fifth, and I just texted the former Lemur broadcaster, Bill Harrington, who's now over in Salem Kaiser, Oregon with the Volcanoes and affiliated ball. Congratulations to Bill, by the way, on getting that job, getting to affiliated ball. For broadcasters, we have pretty much the same goals as the players. The pitch called a strike to Abel Nieves, 1-2. 1 for 2 in the ball game is Nieves with a run scored. He doubled back in the second. We want to get to affiliated ball just like these players do. Pitch up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Bill did that this past off season, but he said, yeah, he had issues last year with the video here in Wichita. Pitch in the dirt, 2-1. And so he had to use his phone as a hotspot in order to have a steady video. Well, I don't have the type of data plan Bill does, or did, last year. 2-1 pitch, taken high for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike, the count to Nieves. Now the delivery from Capra. Inside ball 4. Nieves will take his base. And that is the 4th walk issued by Capra tonight. Artiega issued 5 walks so far, and with someone throwing in the pen, I would think Artiega might be done, but we shall see if that is true. Thinking maybe Kyle Winkler throwing out there. Looks like 18. Yes, that is his motion out there. So Winkler throwing in the pen for the Lemurs. The pitch to Drew Martinez, lone outside, ball 1. Martinez 1 for 1 in the ball game with a walk. Runner on first, 1 out. Lemurs trailing now by a score of 5-2 in the ball game. Lemurs with a run in the second and a run in the third. Wingnuts 1 in the first and 4 in the fourth. The pitch, Martinez taking low. I think that might have hit the turf, but Dean looks at it, says, that's okay. I'll throw it back to Capra. Now Capra's going to inspect it and go, yeah, that's fine too. He'll wipe his hand on the ground right there in the clay on the pitcher's mound. I said the turf, they have turf at home plate, so I'm sure they don't scuff up as many balls as you would if you had a clay home plate or dirt home plate. Here comes the pitch. Called a strike. Well, not home plate, but batter's circle. You know what I mean. Home plate area, batter's boxes. 2-1, the count to Martinez. He's been stranded at second twice today, as he's reached both times at the plate. Comes the pitch. Down low and away, and it ended up landing on the turf. I think it hit the glove of the catcher Dean first. Yeah, they don't go through as many baseballs on pitches in the dirt here as they do in other ballparks. That's for sure. Martinez looks like he has something in his eye. Called time and took a big half step out of the box. He didn't move his back foot, just the front foot to get that part of his body out of the box. 3-1 the count. The pitch outside ball 4. Back-to-back walks of Nieves and Martinez put runners on first and second for the Lemurs here in the bottom of the top of the 5th.
Catcher number 14, Matt Coach.
Matt Coach to the plate. The catcher who has walked in the game. I'm sorry, I forgot to highlight him, so I missed him. So that's now 6 walks in the game issued by Capra, and he has exceeded the 5 walks issued by Artiega. So Capra very high in the walk category, just 3 strikeouts. Artiega also had 3 strikeouts. He had 3 strikeouts in his first 4 outs recorded. The pitch up high. That'll be ball 1, and oh boy, not very many strikes thrown this inning. Brent Dean's going to go have a chat with Capra out there, as well as looks like Vargas from shortstop. As in the last 11 pitches, he has thrown 2 strikes. He's thrown 12 pitches overall in the inning, and just 3 pitches for strikes. 1 was popped up, and the other 2 were taken for called strikes. 1-0 the count to Coach, and now Luke Robertson, the pitching coach, is going to come out and have a chat with his starting pitcher, Anthony Capra. Pitching has been the weak point for the Wingnuts this season as they got out to a slow start, 3-7 on the year right now. They have the worst ERA in the league with a 6.70, a 3-7 record overall, and that is very un-Wingnut-like. Usually the Wingnuts have great pitching, usually have a great team overall. Won the South Division a few years in a row now, and they usually just roll right on through the regular season and into the playoffs. You can pretty much put them down in the preseason as a team that'll make the playoffs. But right now, of course, still very early. They could get back in it. But that pitching, off to a rough start. Lemurs, by the way, they have the top pitching team in the league coming into the series. They had 2.88 ERA overall. Here comes the pitch. Called a ball again to Coach 2-0. So the mound visit produced a ball. Over at second base, Abel Nieves. At first base, Drew Martinez. Capra sets, lifts the leg. Here's the 2-0. Coach taking down and in, ball 3. So now Capra in danger of walking the first 3 batters of the inning as he's down 3-0 to Coach. Three balls, no strikes. Capra with the pitch. Right over the heart of the plate, called a strike, 3-1. See if he can throw another one here back to back. Take a look at the scoreboard around the league. Kansas City won today, 7-1 over the Gary South Shore Railcats. The day game today. The pitch up high, it'll go to the backstop. Everyone will advance, but that's because it's ball 4. They probably would advance anyways, even if it wasn't, but it will be due to the walk, not the wildness of the pitch. There is action in the Wingnuts pen as I look down the left field line. 3 straight walks after getting Phipps to pop out in the first pitch. And boy, Phipps didn't swing at the first pitch. Maybe he would have ultimately walked as well. To the plate, Reggie Wilson. Lefty-lefty matchup, so in the favor of the pitcher here with Capra. Here comes the pitch. Bases loaded, 1 out. Wilson squares around, but he'll pull back. I don't think he had any intention of actually bunting. Just maybe trying to distract Capra a bit. Pitch, guess what? Down and away, ball 1. So the last 3 batters, Capra has gotten to a 3-1 count and walked. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 5th. Great chance for the Lemurs. And Capra looked like he took a lot off that pitch and just floated it through the strike zone. 1-1 the count to Wilson. Goodness. Corners playing up on the edge of the grass-colored turf. That ball hit hard to the second baseman, Stringer. He'll flip to Vargas at second for 1 and over to first. A inning-ending double play. So Capra walks the bases loaded with 1 out, but gets out of it with a 4-6-3 double play. And Lemurs spoil an opportunity there to get some runs back. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 5-2 Lemurs trailing the Wing.
At our baby showers offered by Cadena de Madre. Forget those peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Root for our baby blankets and more. Come slide into home when you receive gift cards for completing Texas Health Steps checkups and attending postpartum visits on time. Don't miss a fly. Visit
19.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to fewer guys with beer bellies, which led to more women attracted to those guys, which led to dates, second dates, wedding bells, and honeymoons, which led to hubbada, boom, which led to you. Miller Lights, we invented light beer, and you're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0.
Has computerized color matching and digital imaging. They also do full frame and suspension repairs. Stop by and see Mike's Paint Place today at 6410 Polaris Drive in Laredo.
Texas Outlaw Grills uphill.
Brent Cleveland leads off the inning.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar?
Wichita Wingnuts here in the bottom of the 5th. The score is 5-2. Wingnuts leading the Lemurs. Kyle Winkler on the hill to pitch in relief. Here comes the pitch to Cleveland, called a strike, 0-1. Winkler on the season, 1-0 in 3 appearances with an ERA of 0. 4 innings pitched, 2 walks, 1 strikeout on the year. Winkler getting his first taste of indie ball. Pitch outside. 1-1, the right-hander. But let's finish going through the scoreboard. Only gave you 1 game before that double play killed the inning. Sioux City leading Fargo-Moorhead 8-4. They're in the bottom of the 8th there. Over there in Fargo-Moorhead, which plays at the North Dakota State campus. Pitch, check swing, and they say he didn't go. Oh, boy, that was a close one. I thought he went. 2-1 the count to Cleveland. If Cleveland didn't go there, then Denker didn't go earlier in the ball game. But they said Denker went. Lincoln right now leading 1-0, bottom of the 7th in Lincoln as they take on the Texas Airhogs. But the Airhogs in danger of losing another game. Of course, still just a one-run game and only in the 7th. The pitch swung on and hit to the right side towards the Lemurs bullpen. It'll land harmlessly foul and bounce over the wall where some kids will chase it. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. In Winnipeg, the Gold Eyes leading 3-1, top of the 6th against the Sioux Falls Canaries. And that is your American Association scoreboard here on this Memorial Day. Well, Joplin right now, they're postponed in Joplin. The St. Paul Saints have come to town, so they must be having some rain there. Pitch called, strike 3. Cleveland goes down looking. He is now 0 for 2 with a walk in the ball game, with 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging and 1 now looking against Kyle Winkler. Winkler part of this bullpen that's been stellar for the Lemurs here in the early part of the season. No one throwing. He threw a couple innings the other day, so we'll see how many innings he goes with starter Alejandro. As the pitch fouled away, Alejandro Ardiega going just 4 innings. And I'll give you his numbers here in a second. 0-1 the count to Middlestat, who has walked in both times up at the plate. Middlestat does walk a lot. Last year, he walked a total of 86 times. Year before, 92 times. And he struck out. He did strike out still more times than he walked. The pitch, Middlestat taking high. 1-1 the count. And on base percentage last year of .407. While his batting average was just .258. So he does get on base a lot, despite sometimes not always having the highest of batting averages. Although this year he's starting out with a .306 batting average, so off to a good start hitting the ball. And the pitch to Middlestat, swing and a miss. 1-2. He does have some power, having hit 16 home runs each of the last 2 years. Middlestat, see how many walks he has this season so far. 11 already on the year through 10 games. Add in 2 more tonight. So in 11 games, he has 13 walks. Winkler on the hill against Middlestat. He sets there in the 1-1 pitch. Middlestat taking, boy, it looked good from here. It must have been a little bit inside or high. I have a 1-2 count. Or I have now 2-2. Before the last pitch, it was 1-2. The home plate umpire was flashing some numbers up there, but I guess they had it wrong on the scoreboard. But it is 2-2. Winkler gets the sign from his catcher, Matt Coach. And the break-even pitch, swing and a chopper foul behind home plate. Count still 2 balls and 2 strikes to TJ Middlestat. So the final numbers on Ardiega: 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 5 runs all earned against Ardiega here in his Lemurs debut. That lasted just 4 innings. So Winkler working with a 2-2 count against TJ Middlestat, trying to retire him for the first time today. The pitch, Middlestat taking just a tad outside, and the count now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Middlestat, a guy, he's going to take a lot of pitches. See, I saw him hit a bunch of home runs last year. If he gets a pitch he likes, he can hit it a long ways. Wind blowing out to left tonight at a pretty brisk clip. As those flags waving out there beyond right field in foul territory. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. There goes Middlestat. He chases. I think he might have chased that pitch, actually. Out number 2, Winkler gets the first 2 batters to strike out. And to the plate, Dustin Geiger, 0 for 2. This is one of my favorite ballparks in the league. It has that kind of classic old field ballpark. Behind it, you have downtown Wichita. It's always nice, a nice view for me. The pitch taken on the outside corner by Dustin Geiger, who's 0 for 2, 0-1 the count. But before you get to the downtown, really the heart of the downtown area right there, you have a river going through the city. And you can see people paddle boarding, jet skiing. At least I saw some people paddle boarding earlier, and I've seen people jet ski on it before. 0-1 pitch, Geiger taking outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. You can see we got like an arena beyond center, and then different hotels and office buildings, banks. Kind of an older downtown. A few newer buildings, though. 1-1 the count, the pitch low for a ball. 2-1. It reminds me of when you play those video games. I know some of you probably never played video games, but you have options where you can build your own stadium. You can put it in a rural area or a city area. It reminds me of one of the small cities. It's a large city, and it's like a New York type of city. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and hit hard by Geiger into left. That is a chance to get out of here, and it does. A solo home run with 2 outs on a 2-1 pitch, and it's now a 6-2 ball game. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts. The fans getting loud here at the ballpark. As for Geiger, that'll be his first home run of the season. To the plate, Richard Prigatano, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a run scored in the ball game. But yeah, it looks like one of those kind of backdrops that you get to have on some of your stadiums you can create in the games. And the smaller ones, kind of the small old downtowns. It's a nice cozy feeling. Richard Prigatano, the pitch, swung on and hit high in the air into center. It looks like Martinez and Wilson, they're going to converge. I don't think Wilson sees it, but Martinez does, as he was deeper, makes the catch for out number 3. So a solo home run off the bat. Dustin Geiger makes this now a 6-2 ball game. We go to the top of the 6th. Lemurs to the plate as they trail the Wingnuts.
¿Salió el primer diente a tu hijo? ¿Que tu abuelita aprendió a tuitear? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? La respuesta es la misma, pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres, pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo, carne asada con ganas, solo en H-E-B.
carry, Alvaro Rondon.
Alvaro Rondon to the plate, and I think the PA guy has said his name a different time each time he's come up to the plate. He called him Alvaro Rondon this time. Pitched a ball, 1-0. I gave him pronunciations before the game. I think he called him Rondon, Rondon. I don't know. The 1-0 pitch outside for a ball, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes, the count to Rondon. He singled and stole a bag in the second. And he fouled out, or he popped out in foul territory to the first baseman in the fourth. That pitch called a strike. So 1 for 2 in the ball game. 2-1 the count on him here. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Lemurs trailing 6-2 to the Wingnuts in game 1 of this 4-game set. There's a ground ball left side. The third baseman Cox has it. Sidearms to first for out number 1. Rondon retired 5-3. So new pitcher Alex Boshears in the ball game, as he replaces Anthony Capra. And boy, the Lemurs, they've had a lot of opportunities. They just couldn't capitalize on them. They had bases loaded, 1 out last inning in the 5th after Capra walked 3 straight batters after getting Dennis Phipps to pop out to start off the inning. They also had bases loaded in the 3rd with 2 outs, but couldn't come up with the big play or the big hit either. So there's a ball low to Ty Morrison. 1-0 the count. Morrison 1 for 2 with a single, a strikeout, and a walk. So they've had just about as many opportunities, if not more opportunities, than the Wingnuts. The pitch swung and fouled back to the screen. 1-1. But they haven't been able to capitalize in big enough ways yet to quite keep up. They're down by 4 right now to the Wingnuts. But the chances have been there. The righty Boshears delivers to the lefty Morrison, called a strike, 1-2. This year Boshears is 0-1 with 4 appearances all out of the bullpen with a 6.35 earned run average. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 strikeouts, and no walks issued by Boshears so far. Pitch outside for a ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count will even up. They have 3-1 on the board. I have 2-2. And that is what home plate umpire Mike Gardner flashes up with his fingers, 2-2. Boshears sets out on the mound as he delivers the pitch to the lefty, Morrison, and he slices one to left. That'll fall for a hit into the left field corner and will roll around the wall. Morrison heads into second easily with a double with 1 out here in the 6th inning. Morrison's second hit of the ball game. Nice work there by Ty Morrison. A little bit about the pitcher Alex Boshears. Boshears spelled B-O-C-H-E for the Wingnuts out of the bullpen. Off to a little bit of a slow start, but I mean, 1 bad game in your first 3 will give your ERA a little inflated. There's the pitch, swinging a 1 hopper to the shortstop, or to the second baseman, Stringer. He picks it up, slides around, throws over to first in time to get Pulfer. Pulfer hit it well. And the body language that he has after grounding out there is one of, what do I have to do to get a hit? He's hit it pretty well tonight. He just can't quite find the hole. He keeps getting it close. But the infielders here for the Wingnuts have been able to make the play. And then the outfielder and Harrison Kane came over in the gap to make a catch on him earlier. So he's found some spots, but they were just inches or a few feet away from being hits, although moving up to third was Morrison. So runner on third, 2 outs, and Danker at the plate. Danker taking low for a ball, 1-0. Danker today 0 for 2, a strikeout, a ground out. He's also walked and scored a run in his 3 plate appearances. He digs in here. We're in the top of the 6th. 6-2 the score. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts. Pitch outside, 2-0 the count to Danker. Starting at third base today was the DH last night. Boshears the righty against the righty and Danker. 71 degrees here tonight. Nice cool evening. Pitch on the inner half called a strike, 2-1. Danker, the big slugger for the Lemurs, leads the team in home runs and runs batted in. Time is called now, and can't quite tell by who. Looks like by Dean. Something was in front of home plate, and he wanted to go move it out of the way. I think maybe just a clump of those, of the rubber pellets. Mentioned this field is turf, just like in Grand Prairie, although the turf is a little different than the turf in Grand Prairie. I'll explain that here after this 2-1 pitch to Danker. He swings and chops one down the third baseline, just foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Danker. Over in Grand Prairie, the turf, you can run your hand or your foot lightly over the turf, and the little rubber pellets, it's almost like, like a tire at like a playground where they have the shredded tire, although it's a lot finer than that. So these little rubber pellets, it'll fly up in the air. Although here, they have it more packed down, and those pellets don't come up if you slide your hand across. That ball grounded down the third baseline hard, but just inches foul. Boy, Danker nearly had extra bases and an RBI for himself there, but that ball just inches to the left of the third base bag. Yeah, the turf here is packed down, those pellets are. I don't know if it makes it springier or not. I feel like it is a little bouncier here than it is in Grand Prairie. Maybe. 2 balls, 2 strikes, still the count to Danker. After that last foul off, then the pitch. Outside ball 3. So the count now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes to the veteran hitter, Travis Danker, former big leaguer with the Giants. He'll adjust the batting gloves. Step back in the box. 3-2, runner on third. 2 outs, top of the 6th, Lemurs trail by 4. The pitch swung on and chopped foul off the foot of Danker, down towards the third base line. It was in foul territory, and it was off Danker's foot, so foul either way. So Danker continues to battle. He's going to take some extra time out of the box after that foul ball off of his foot. And prepare himself as he steps back into that right-handed box. We might have a different person coaching first base right now than earlier. The pitch, swing, ground ball back up the middle, but shading over was Stringer from second. The throw will be in time to get Danker, and the shift works. 4-3 put out of Danker. Had they been playing straight up, it would have been a base hit, but Stringer was playing almost behind the bag at second. He didn't have to go very far for that ball hit right back up the middle, and the Wingnuts keep the Lemurs off the scoreboard. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 6-2. Wichita.
Herb dipping sauce, your choice of a signature side, and a buttermilk biscuit for just $4.99. Promotion starts Monday, May 25th.
A membership, you'll get tons of extras completely free. Confidence, free. Compliments from your coworkers, free. And the desire to wear tiny bathing suits, you guessed it, free. You'll be stronger with extras, and you'll be stronger with Gold's Gym. Know your own strength. Tiny bathing suit not included.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que por fin compraste carro nuevo? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? ¿Que hoy empieza tu fin de semana? ¿O que hoy se acaba tu novela y mañana empieza otra? La respuesta es la misma, pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres, pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. El carnesazo de H-E-B es una pachanga de sabor. Solo tienes que invitar a los compadres, prender la parrillita, ponerle unas fajitas, costillitas, chuletitas, salchichitas y, ¿por qué no?, hasta un pollo mariposita. Y que no se te olvide la musiquita y hasta una buena bailadita para un gran carnesazo. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo, carne asada con ganas, solo en H-E-B.
Before your Memorial Day party gets going, drive over to Ashley Furniture Home Store this week for our best Memorial Day sale ever.
On to the bottom of the 6th we go. Wichita Wingnuts back to the plate, and a new pitcher on the hill, Luis de la Cruz, towing the rubber for the Lemurs against Harrison Kane, righty versus righty. De la Cruz sets on the hill, and the pitch to Kane. Up high for ball one. They've got a radar gun on the scoreboard out there, but it hasn't seemed to be working tonight. De la Cruz on the year, 0-1 with a 5.79 ERA, 4 appearances, 4 2/3 innings pitched. The pitch swung, grounded towards short. Pulfer backing up a half step after shading to his left. And the throw on time, 6-3. The put out of Kane, out number 1. Kane now 0 for 2 with a walk in the ball game. They've got the kid announcer here this inning as Brent Dean comes to the plate now. 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a run scored. Also a stolen bag for Dean tonight. That all came in the third. Part of that 4-run third inning, which right now is the difference in the ball game. It is a 6-2 score. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts. The pitch from De La Cruz to Dean outside for a ball, 1-0. Never really finished talking about Dean. Last year, or 2 years ago, got picked up by the Wingnuts, played 21 games. Last season, 69 games for the Wingnuts. He hit .281 last season. The pitch, a check swing. They appeal to first, and they say he went. And A.J. Chalk, the first base umpire, 1-1 the count. But last year, Dean, he played 43 games at catcher, 10 games in left, and 2 games in right. Said he played some outfield. Maybe I said he played infield. I don't remember, but I do remember him playing the field, and that's what it is. I have the numbers in front of me. The pitch to Dean into the turf. Picked up by Coach. It's 2-1. He's had some good years in his 21 games with the Wingnuts in 2014. He hit .317 with 3 home runs. Last year, just 1 home run, but he had 21 RBIs in his 69 games in the black and red Wichita uniform. Swing and a pop-up left side foul territory. Danker and Pulfer giving chase, and it'll be Danker making the catch. The third baseman for out number 2. Leo Vargas to the plate now. His walk-up song, I can't remember the name of the song, but I've heard it in English. I've never heard it in Spanish. That was in Spanish. I think maybe All the Way Up or something. And the pitch, Vargas put the bat out to bunt, and it came up and into him. He had to leap out of the way as it would have hit him in the chest. 1-0 the count and pull the bat back. Vargas, his first year of pro ball was in 2014 out of Nichols State University in Thibodaux, Louisiana. The pitch swung in a little blooper behind third. Danker trying to reach up. He won't be able to get it. Pulfer, though, behind second will field it on the hop. And it's a broken bat single for Leo Vargas. Vargas played 6 games in 2014 with Lincoln, batting .214. Last year came over to Wichita, and he played 56 games for the Wingnuts, hitting .219. Last year with the Wingnuts, he played 30 games at second and 27 games at short. He's the starting shortstop this year for the Wingnuts. He's a good fielder. The hitting, though, has not always been the best for Vargas, but apparently they're willing to sacrifice that with his fielding abilities. Well, he is batting .250 coming into this ball game. Back to the top of the order, Christian Stringer. Former member of the White Sox organization, drafted in 2013 out of Rice University in the 16th round from Longview, Texas, a little bit east of the Dallas area. 25 years of age. The pitch outside for a ball. 1-0. Stringer played in 3 seasons in the White Sox organization, making it up to the South Atlantic League Kannapolis, the Kannapolis Intimidators, one of my favorite names in affiliated ball. Who wouldn't want to play for a team called the Intimidators? 1-0 the count here to Stringer. He is 0 for 3 in the ball game. Pitch up and away. 2-0. I'm sorry, I was looking at Zach Cox, who was on deck. Stringer's actually 1 for 2. An RBI single, a walk, a run scored, and a stolen bag. Last year, Stringer with Kannapolis, there in the South Atlantic League, hit .288 with a home run, 21 RBIs in 57 games. So move over to first. Diving back in is Vargas. The year before, he was at Kannapolis as well in 2014. He played in 76 games, where he hit .259 with 9 home runs. And the pitch up high for a ball. 3-0 the count to Stringer now. Left-handed batter against the righty in De La Cruz. We have seen multiple times this year. And De La Cruz fires away the 3-0, outside ball 4. So he walks Stringer on 4 straight pitches. Second time Stringer has walked today. So we'll take his bag. And Zach Cox to the plate. De La Cruz versus Cox. Cox 0 for 3 in the ball game. 2 groundouts, a flyout. Runners are moving. There's a swing and a miss. No throw anywhere as they were shifted for Cox. I don't know how they'll rule that, but Danker over at third had no shot. He's standing almost halfway between second and third base with this shift. I guess Pulfer could have maybe covered the bag at second as he's almost behind the bag over there at second. The pitch to Cox, the lefty, swings and fouls it away. 0-2 now the count. So Stringer over at second, Vargas over to third. We'll see if they roll a defensive indifference or a stolen bag. The pitch swung on and lifted into the air into center. Moving back about 20 feet is Martinez. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So a fly out to center with 2 men on base. Leaves them stranded there to end the 6th. We go to the 7th. Lemurs trailing by 4 by a score of 6-2 to the Wingnuts.
Before your Memorial Day party gets going, drive over to Ashley Furniture Home Store this week for our best Memorial Day sale ever. Get dramatic price reductions store-wide or no interest until January 2021. Choose from sofas and sectionals, all at unbelievably low prices. Plus, find savings on beds and amazing deals on dining rooms. It's our best Memorial Day sale ever, so don't wait. Hurry over to Ashley Furniture Home Store right now. Ashley Furniture Home Store. This is home. 4520 San Bernardo Avenue, Laredo, Texas, 956-712-2401. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Uni-Trade continues to provide solutions in foreign trade through a highly satisfactory customs brokerage service. Uni-Trade has quality trained personnel devoted to the highest level of customer service. For all your transportation, distribution, and consolidation needs, it's Uni-Trade.
Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, the official team doctors of your Laredo Lemurs. Now with 2 convenient locations to better serve you. Our north location is located at 9652 McPherson Road, Suite 12. Our south location is located at 5102 State Highway 359. Laredo Sports Medicine offers an array of services from physical therapy to our newest service, orthopedic surgery. Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic is changing orthopedic care 1 athlete at a time. Visit our website at laredosportsmed.com for more information.
We'd like to imagine that if you're listening to this, it's on a radio in a backyard in between innings. The grass was mowed this morning, and the grill smells like heaven. And what do you know? Your friends just arrived with a 24-pack of Miller Lite, along with a few new friends to enjoy them with. Here's hoping we're right, and you're not just stuck in traffic. Here's hoping it's Miller time.
Great beer, great responsibility. 2015 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
South Texas families never strike out with Driscoll Health Plan. Catch the value-added services we pitch to our Medicaid members. Enjoy a free membership to specific boys and girls clubs. Receive gift cards for completing Texas healthcare checkups. Restrictions and limitations may apply. Visit us at DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Falcon Bank and the Laredo Lemurs are a winning combination. At Falcon, they know what counts. Personalized service, attention to detail, and genuine commitment to helping customers achieve their dreams. Falcon Bank, guided by faith, grounded by family, and committed to you.
The Chop House Cheddar Burger is back at Whataburger.
First of all, you start with a large bun, 2 patties, shredded cheddar cheese,
The creamy sauce.
creamy steak sauce. My personal favorite part is the onions, the grilled onions and bacon.
Grilled perfection.
It's good stuff. Love it. You take a bite. It's hard to describe. It's hard to put into words.
The Chop House Cheddar Burger.
Chop House Cheddar Burger. It's back.
I don't have anything else to compare it to. It's the best out there, I think.
The Chop House Cheddar Burger is back.
Only at Whataburger and only for a limited time.
New pitcher in the ball game. It'll be number 44, Richard Ruff, the 6'3", 240-pound right-hander from Chicago, Illinois. He'll be facing off against the DH, Dennis Phipps, for the Laredo Lemurs, here in the top of the 7th. The pitch from Ruff. Phipps has squared around, pulled back. It's up and in. Going to move out of the way. 1-0 the count. Phipps today, 1 for 3 in the ball game. And the pitch, Phipps is again squaring around, pulling back. It'll go to the backstop, tipping off the glove of Dean, the catcher. So count quickly 2-0. Ruff enters the ball game. In 4 appearances, he's 0-0 with an ERA of 9. 4 innings pitched, all out of the bullpen. He's given up 4 runs, all earned on 5 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. The pitch called a strike, and that had Phipps backing out of the box before he even reached home plate. Ruff, 27 years old, drafted by the Mets originally. The pitch up and in. Phipps, look out. He leans and ducks out of the way. 3-1 the count now. Ruff has Phipps running a little scared here. He was drafted by the Mets back in 2011, 46th round, out of Quincy University in Quincy, Illinois. The pitch from Ruff. Phipps taking up and in again. Ball 4. Another walk. The 8th walk issued by Wichita pitching tonight. 6 walks for the Lemurs tonight, so 14 walks overall in the ball game between both teams. Abel Nieves to the plate. He's walked 1 time. He is 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. 6-2. And they're going to have a conference on the mound. Talk about what Ruff's previous years has done. He pitched, like I said, in the Met system, made it up to New York Penn League. Short season there with the team up in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Cyclones. He only appeared in 2 games, though, before being released in 2012. He joined the Frontier League then with Normal, the Normal Corn Belters in Normal, Illinois. So in his home state, pitched low and backing again out of the box was Nieves as that pitch came in. Boy, they're real scared of Ruff, or at least concerned about getting his. They're just backing out before the pitcher's even arrived at home plate. Here comes the pitch. Nieves taking all the way. Turns his back even as it comes in, but it's a called strike, 2-1. Last year he played in the Can-Am League with Rockland, did Ruff, but he only appeared in 3 games. He appeared in 17 games in the Pecos League with Taos. Pitched down and away for a ball. 3-1 the count. That year in the Pecos League in 2013, he hit 5 batters in 19 and a third innings pitched. In his career, he's thrown 44 innings in 42 games over a span of 5 seasons. Pitch called a strike coming into this year. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count, runner on first, no outs. Top of the 7th, Lemurs trailing 6-2 to the Wingnuts. Richard Ruff, the reliever on the hill for Wichita. Phipps over at first. The pitch, payoff. And that will be a balk as Ruff had some rough footing out there on the mound. He never actually threw the pitch. He came forward, plateward. The arm moved a little bit forward, but he never let go of the ball. So Phipps gets awarded second base due to the balk. And we'll have another attempt at a 3-2 pitch as Ruff works the bottom of the mound. So apparently something got off with his footing, and he didn't throw the pitch. I guess doing that was still a better decision because instead of throwing what would be a ball and then having runners on first and second, he held on to it. Now there's just a runner on second. Still a chance to get Nieves. 3-2 pitch. And he does walk Nieves a little bit high, ball 4. So he still walks him regardless. First 2 batters walk here in the 7th. Nieves has walked back-to-back plate appearances. And the walking in this ball game continues.
Center fielder number 4, Drew Martinez.
As that is now the 9th walk issued by Wichita pitching, and Luke Robertson, the pitching coach for Wichita, is going to come out and have a chat with his pitcher. Brent Dean already went out there once. Now Dean and Cox from third are going to talk before Drew Martinez is at bat. Martinez 1 for 1, 2 walks in the game. One of 3 batters in the game that has walked twice. Nieves now has walked twice, and Coach has walked twice. And incidentally, those 3 are all in a row. Nieves, Martinez, and Coach have all walked twice, and they are the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the order. And then that 5th inning, they all walked in a row. So Martinez at the plate after this mound visit's been finally broken up by Mike Gardner, the home plate umpire. This game just seems like it's dragging on, already at 2.5 hours, or approaching 2.5 hours here in a few minutes, and we're still on the top of the 7th. Played some long games this season already. So Martinez at the plate, 1 for 1, a single, 2 walks. Ruff on the hill, towing the first base side of the rubber. The pitch low into the turf for a ball, 1-0. Martinez was about to tap the ball back to Dean. He might have actually touched it. I couldn't quite tell. And as the ball got in the way, the runners didn't go anywhere. I think he kind of forgot that there were runners on base. He was just trying to help Dean out and say, oh, here's the ball back. And then right as he was about to hit it, you could kind of see him pull back real quick as if like, oh no, I just remembered. There's guys on base. I can't do that. The pitch inside and low. 2 balls, no strikes. Martinez is a nice guy. I can see him definitely trying to help a catcher out there. But that time, the help is not wanted. 2-0 pitch inside, and that'll go at the feet of Dean. He managed to tip it, and it bounced around between his legs. It stayed around the plate, though. He picks it up. No one advances. 3 balls, no strikes. Ruff in danger of walking 3 straight batters, much like Anthony Capra did in the 5th inning. And, well, if he does walk Martinez, 2 of the batters would have been the same hitters. Nieves and Martinez both were part of those 3 straight walks there in the 5th. Phipps was not. And Matt Coach, the batter on deck, was as well. There is action in the Wingnuts pen. There's ball 4. And for the second time today, they have walked 3 straight batters to load the bases. This time there are no outs. Those are the first 3 batters of the inning. Back in the 5th, Phipps popped out before Nieves, Martinez, and Coach all walked. And now Pete Rose Jr. coming out of the dugout, and we'll have a pitching change. We'll be back with the new pitcher here in a moment.
Growing strong. Visit chavarriasplumbing.com and go Lemurs. Chavarrias Plumbing's the #1 choice for any plumbing problem. Chavarrias is a full-service company with up-to-date technology, trained professionals. With over 30 years of service to the community, Chavarrias is still growing strong. Visit chavarriasplumbing.com and go Lemurs.
There's a reason why Popeyes creates some of the best tasting chicken in the world. We were born in New Orleans, Louisiana, the land of good fun and great cooking. Spicy flavor is a way of life in New Orleans, and everything we make reflects it. From our Popeyes bona fide chicken and handcrafted tenders to our home-style mashed potatoes with Cajun gravy and our soft, buttery biscuits, everything we make is made with care and served up fresh. Only at Popeyes.
Core Business Solutions is a proud sponsor of Lemurs Baseball. Core Business Solutions services the 17 southernmost counties of Texas as well as areas of northern Mexico. They offer a wide range of high-tech solutions for businesses and organizations. Make Core Business Solutions your solution today.
Driscoll Health Plan loads the bases with value. We knock it out of the park with all the value-added services we bring to our Medicaid members. Driscoll families cheer on the Grand Slam packages, sports physicals, free memberships to Boys and Girls Clubs, and dental care for pregnant women over 21. Take a swing at our baby showers offered by Cadena de Madre. Forget those peanuts and Cracker Jacks, root for our baby blankets and more. Come slide into home when you receive gift cards for completing Texas Health Steps checkups and attending postpartum visits on time. Don't miss a play. Restrictions and limits may apply. Visit DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Quench your thirst at a Lemurs game with a beverage from Southern Distributing Company. Try mainstays like Miller Lite, Miller 64, and
New pitcher in the ball game for the Wichita Wingnuts. It is Jesse Pratt, 6'5", right-hander, 215 pounds, from Independence, Oregon. He last played in college at Western Oregon. He is a rookie here in the American Association. The right-hander will be facing another righty in Matt Coach. So Jesse Pratt to the hill, relieving Richard Ruff, who did not record a single out. He walked 3 straight batters to load the bases. Here comes the pitch, and Coach taking strike one, 0-1. The bases are loaded. You have Dennis Phipps at third, Abel Nieves at second, and Drew Martinez at first. So Pratt in the ball game, righty versus righty. The 0-1, a swing and a miss, chasing it a bit there was Coach. It was down and away, 0-2. Last time Lemurs had bases loaded was in the 5th. After, with 1 out, they walked 3 in a row, and Reggie Wilson grounded into an inning-ending double play. That was a big opportunity for the Lemurs to cut away at the lead, but they just couldn't do it. They're down by 4 right now, and this is a huge opportunity. You don't know when you'll get another opportunity like this to score some runs. They could put a bunch of runs up. Here's the pitch. Coach taking a little bit high, maybe up to the Lemurs. With Coach Wilson and Rondon due up next, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. The pitch from Pratt bounced in the dirt and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Jesse Pratt, Western Oregon. Division II baseball. The pitch swung on, it hit hard to the left. That'll be a base hit into the corner out there in left field. It'll bounce around the wall. 1 run scores easily as Phipps comes in. Stopping at third is Martinez. Nieves will score as well from second. A 2-run RBI double for Matt Coach, and he continues to stay hot, getting his first hit of the ballgame. He's walked twice, so he's now 1 for 2 in the ballgame. He's been hitting very well since the Grand Prairie series started. It is in the late innings. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 2. Count on Wilson, 0-2. Also with a sac fly in the ball game. Also is grounded into a double play and just grounded out 1-3. So he's 0 for 2 with a sac fly and RBI. And the delivery from the righty, the lefty Wilson, taking 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pratt on the hill. On the year, he has appeared in 5 ball games. That is in the lead for the team with a 4.32 ERA and no wins, no losses. Pitch grounded foul. 1-2 the count still. 8 1/3 innings pitched. All his appearances out of the bullpen. 13 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. We're in the early parts of the season for Jesse Pratt. So the Lemurs finally making the Wingnuts pay for the walks. And the 2-2, sorry, the 1-2, again fouled away, this time the opposite way to the left side.
The foul ball is brought to you by Dinger's Roofing and Construction. Call them at 316-202-2066 to schedule your free estimate today. Dinger's Roofing and Construction, your home team pro.
Pratt, as a senior this year, went 7-1 with a 2.74 ERA at Western Oregon. And the pitch outside, ball 2, 2-2. 13 games, 12 of them starts. So he was a starter in college, reliever here with the Wingnuts. He struck out 92 batters in 121 and a third career innings in 3 years with the Wolves. The pitch swung and fouled away, the Wolves being his college mascot. Count still 2-2. He played baseball and basketball for a year at Chemeketa Community College. So a dual sport athlete at one point. 2-2 count. Corners in. The pitch to Wilson. Again, fought off the handles. Foul back over the net. Count 2-2 still. So Wilson battling away. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Only one batter has coach faced, or not coach, but Pratt faced. It was Matt Coach. He doubled. Stands at second. Over at third is Drew Martinez. Corners are playing in. The pitch to Wilson outside. 3-2. So a great at bat, regardless of what happens here for Wilson. That's with 2 strikes. He has fouled off. He at one point was down 0-2, took a ball, and then has fouled off 4 pitches and drawn 2 more balls in that time frame. So a full count, 2 men on, and the pitch swung on and fouled away again. Make it 5 fouls. Since he's had 2 strikes, he fouled off the first pitch, so 6 fouls overall. And talk about not going through as many baseballs. Only had to reload the umpire's bag there was some new baseballs after all these fouls that Wilson's been putting out of play. Lemurs trailing by 2. It's 6-4. As the Wingnuts with the lead in the top of the 7th. The pitch swung and fouled away again. Left side. It'll bounce off the wall over there by the dugout and then go towards the third base coach, Gibby Villacuellar. He'll make a nice play there and toss it back to the dugout. Count still 3-2. Coach at second, Martinez at third. Outfield, playing him straight up in the corners. The center fielder, Kane, a little bit towards left. Pitch low, ball 4. So finally, Wilson draws the walk. 4th walk of the inning. First issued by Pratt, and boy, that was a battle at the plate. Wilson, probably the best at bat of anyone on the Lemurs this season in terms of a battle and winning it. He had 2 strikes, down 0-2, fouled off a total of 6 pitches and drew a walk. So nice work there by Wilson. And Alvaro Rondon to the plate with the bases loaded. Although it doesn't really hurt Wichita too much, as you still have a left-handed batter at the plate. Rondon, a switch hitter. And, of course, the lefty against the righty is advantage for the hitter, but Wilson was a lefty. But now you actually have a force out. You could turn a double play. Although a double play would help if there was no outs or 1 out on the inning. There are no outs, and the bases are loaded, and I believe that is Pete Rose Jr., and there is someone throwing in the bullpen. We will have another pitching change. So we'll be back with the new pitcher as it's the bases loaded, top of the 7th. Lemurs trail by 2, but they are threatening here against the Wingnuts in a 6-4 ball game.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to fewer guys with beer bellies, which led to more women attracted to those guys, which led to dates, second dates, wedding bells, and honeymoons, which led to hubba-da, boom, which led to you.
Paint Place has computerized color matching and digital imaging. They also do full frame and suspension repairs. Stop by and see Mike's Paint Place today at 6410 Polaris Drive.
Specializing in outlaw delicacies such as the Texican, the Gringo, and the Bandit hot dog and their ever-famous barbecue burger. Be the first to try their groundbreaking Cabrito hamburger and Cabrito hot dog. For all to-go orders, catering, and fundraising information, go by 5209 Springfield Suite number 4 or call 956-771-1919. That's Texas Outlaw Grill.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que le salió el primer diente a tu hijo? ¿Que tu abuelita aprendió a tuitear? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? La respuesta es...
All right. We're back. Top of the 7th. Alvaro Rondon to the plate. New pitcher in the ball game for the Wichita Wingnuts. I believe it's Fabian Roman. Yes, Fabian Roman, the right-hander. The pitch to Rondon. Swung on a chopper towards the second baseman, and only one place to go with it for Stringer, and that's first. And he just narrowly gets Rondon for the out, 4-3. But there's just one out in the inning, and a run scores. So give Rondon an RBI. He's now 1 for 4 in the ball game. And look at that. First pitch from the new pitcher, and an out is recorded. He throws a strike. Ty Morrison to the plate, top of the order. Lemurs with an opportunity here to now take the lead with 2 men in scoring position, as the score is now 6-5. A 1-run ball game. Runners on second and third. You have the speedy Wilson over at third, and at second, and at third, Matt Coach. The pitch to Morrison, who has 2 hits already in the ball game, 2 for 3, single and a double. Takes low for ball 1. Roman, the righty, 6 foot, 200 pounds from Jersey City. That is in New Jersey. There's a high chopper deep in the hole on the right side of the infield, and Stringer again fields it and makes the play, 4-3, but another RBI for the Lemurs, and the game is tied. Look at that. 2 ground outs, 4-3, and 2-run score. And finally, the Lemurs are making them pay for the walks, as all those people who walked, well, all the first 3, we had the 3 in a row to start the inning. Phipps, Nieves, Martinez, they've all scored. And then Coach, who doubled, he scored. And that 4th walk of the inning, Reggie Wilson, is now standing at third base. And J.D. Pulfer at the plate with 2 outs. Pulfer 0 for 4 in the ball game. Here comes the pitch. Pulfer taking on the inside corner on the off-speed stuff, 0-1. Fabian Roman, another rookie. He played in 2014 in Billings, the Reds organization. The Billings Mustangs. And the pitch. Roman delivers down and in for a ball. 1-1. Lemurs a chance to take the lead here as they are. Roman sets out there on the hill. And the pitch to Pulfer. Swung on and fought off foul. And look out over there. First base coach. It is Troy Marks. Look at that. Nimble feet over there by Troy. One of the Lemurs starting pitchers. He pitched excellent in his last start for Laredo against the Texas Airhogs. I keep wanting to call them Grand Prairie. Temperature still cooling off, 69 degrees now at the ballpark. Another 1-2 pitch inside, ball 2. A few rather vocal fans here. They've been at it all night, giving their 2 cents worth. Umpires don't care, though. I don't think the players really notice it too much. 2-2 the count here to Pulfer. He'll be looking for something. Get a base knock, drive in that run. The break-even pitch swung on and fought off foul, right side, out of play, towards the bounce house. It'll go beyond. Count stays 2-2. Yes, there is a bounce house here at the ballpark. Got a little playground and a bounce house off to the past the right field line in foul territory and well out of play, obviously. They have a little picnic table pavilion area, and then behind that is where the bounce house is. 2-2 pitch again. Pulfer taking what looked like was down and in, and he doesn't like the call, but it's a called strike 3. That'll end the inning, and Pulfer, I think, just got tossed. I was looking down, marking in my scorebook. Gibby Velaquay, our third base coach, trying to come down and protect Pulfer. Pulfer is not happy. Pete's coming out of the dugout, too. Pulfer was furious with that call, and he is still going at it. as he is being escorted by the third base umpire, Kurt Brannon. Can't read my own handwriting. And now Pete's got to come out and talk to Kurt. He won't even get to the home plate umpire, Mike Gardner. But we'll go to the bottom of the 7th here. 7th inning stretch time. Boy, I'm going to need a stretch after that half inning. Lemurs score 4 and tie it up. There in the inning, it's now all tied at 6. Lemurs and Wingnuts.
Getting hungry? Popeyes always hits the spot. Make sure to stop by any Popeyes location to try out Popeyes' new Smoky Garlic Chili Chicken Dinner. It includes 4 smoky garlic chicken tenderloins served with Popeyes' new garlic herb dipping sauce, your choice of a signature side, and a buttermilk biscuit for just $4.99. Promotion starts Monday, May 25th.
Right now, when you sign up for a Gold's Gym membership, you'll get tons of extras completely free. Confidence, free. Compliments from your coworkers, free. And the desire to wear tiny bathing suits, you guessed it, free. You'll be stronger with extras, and you'll be stronger with Gold's Gym. Know your own strength. Tiny bathing suit not included.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que por fin compraste carro nuevo? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? ¿Que hoy empieza tu fin de semana? ¿O que hoy se acaba tu novela y mañana empieza otra? La respuesta es la misma, pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres, pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. El carnesazo de H-E-B es una pachanga de sabor. Solo tienes que invitar a los compadres, prender la parrillita, ponerle unas fajitas, costillitas, chuletitas, salchichitas y, ¿por qué no?, hasta un pollo mariposita. Y que no se te olvide la musiquita y hasta una buena bailadita para un gran carnesazo. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo, carne asada con ganas, solo en H-E-B.
Before your Memorial Day party gets going, drive over to Ashley Furniture Home Store this week for our best Memorial Day sale ever. Get dramatic price reduction store-wide or no interest until January.
Factory Customs Brokerage Service. Uni-Trade has quality trained personnel devoted to the highest level of customer service. For all your transportation, distribution, and consolidation needs, it's Uni-Trade.
Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, the official team doctors of your Laredo Lemurs. Now with 2 convenient locations to better serve you. Our north location is located at 9652 McPherson Road, Suite 12. Our south location is located at 5102 State Highway 359. Laredo Sports Medicine offers an array.
All right, a lot of changes here, including the pitcher. Brent Cleveland leading off the inning. I'll give you the pitcher first. Kamakani Usui into the ballgame. Right-hander facing off against Brent Cleveland, another righty. Pitch called a strike. Oh, no, not called a strike. It's a ball high, 1-0. Other changes. As last inning for the final out, called strike 3 of J.D. Pulfer. He got tossed for arguing the call. Vehemently arguing that call. The pitch to Cleveland. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Usui this season has appeared in 5 games. He's given up just 1 run. It was unearned. 3 hits and 1 walk. He has 7 strikeouts, 5 2/3 innings pitched, and his 5 appearances 0-0 with an ERA of 0. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a pop-up foul just to my right and over my head. 1-2. So Usui in the ball game to pitch, as he relieves Luis De La Cruz here in the bottom of the 7th. And some other changes because of the ejection. There's a swing ground ball towards third. Nieves, there's the one change over at third, picks it, throws to first, not in time. That'll draw a cheer from the crowd, a single for Brent Cleveland. So the one change, well, I thought, this is why I'm not a manager. I thought, well, Valera, now Pete's going to come out and he's going to have a little arguing here. With Valera on the bench, he is a middle infielder, or just a utility infielder in general, but he can play the middle infield for sure. You have Rondon as well. I figured one of them would play second, one of them would play short, and you'd substitute them in easily in the lineup for Pulfer. Pete's going to argue a little bit with the third base umpire, Kurt Brandon, and head back to the dugout. He's managed to stay in the game, but he's got out there multiple times now this ball game. So the change in the lineup, instead of Pulfer, it's now Jesus Poso. Poso's at first base. They shift Nieves over to third. Rondon goes from second to short, and Danker over to second base. So an all-new infield, sort of. Everyone's at a different position than they were last inning. The pitch to the TJ Middlestat, the next hitter, lefty, taking a strike, 0-1 in the outside corner. So Poso at first, Danker at second, Rondon at short, and Nieves at third. But that's what you get when you have infielders that can, quality infielders who can play multiple positions. Now they were playing probably their best position already, pitched down and out of the zone, 1-1. Danker probably plays a little bit better third than he does second. But he's still a decent second baseman at worst. Now time being called. Nieves can really play either corner position, probably about the same. Danker might be a little better than him at third. Maybe that's why he's at third and Nieves at first normally. Rondon can play either of the middle infield positions. Danker can play second as well as third. Nieves even can play second. I've seen him play short. That was a year or two ago. Now the pitch from Usui, a little bit high. Check swing by Middlestat. He didn't go through the zone. 2-1 the count now. So you can do a lot of things, and Poso can also play first as well as catch. So you've got some utility abilities out of him. But now you don't have a backup catcher anymore on the bench. And the pitch, 2-1 delivery, low, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. 7 walks issued by the Lemurs pitching staff tonight. So 18 walks tonight combined between these two teams. Dustin Geiger, who already has a home run in the ball game, 1 for 3. It was a solo home run in the 5th to the plate. With no one out and 2 men on. Over at second, Brent Cleveland, and at first, TJ Middlestat. Both have decent speed on the base paths. The pitch swung on and lined up the middle into center. Martinez will field it, and he's going to fire plateward. The ball will be not cut off. The throw at the plate is not in time, and Cleveland will score from second. Poso let it go through. It didn't really have a chance, though, against Cleveland. But Middlestat was holding at second either way, so Poso let it go through to see if he could have a chance. But an RBI single for Matt Geiger, or Dustin Geiger. Matt Geiger used to play in the NBA. Middlestat goes from first to second on the play. Richard Prigatano to the plate. Prigatano 1 for 3 in the ball game with a single and a run scored as well as an RBI. Usui on the hill. Corners are in, expecting Prigatano to maybe bunt to push the runners along. The pitch, Prigatano not squaring. It's in the turf, and it'll go up in the air. Usui will make the play as it went back towards the mound. Well, I think that's the first time I've ever seen a pitcher field a wild pitch in the air. If a pitcher gets a wild pitch, it's usually because it goes up the line and he picks it up off the ground. But Usui caught that off of the skip and the hop off of Coach. Runners will all move up. Geiger to second and Middlestat to third. Look out on the video board out in center field. And Prigatano's face is missing. They've got some panels out right there in the middle of the board, and it's in an unfortunate spot. You can't even see the faces of the players. We've got a pretty decent video board out there. The pitch infield drawn in, swinging a pop-up foul again just to my right. 1-1 the count. Got to be ready in this ballpark for foul balls. 1-2 the count. Or sorry, 1-1 the count to Prigatano, the right fielder for Wichita. Over at third base is Middlestat, and Geiger at second, infield in all around. The 1-1 pitch taken, and Coach, I don't think, can believe it, that it's called a ball. I could hear Mike Gardner say that where the ball missed. I could hear him say ball, and then he said something else, but I couldn't make out what he said. Maybe he said inside or that's high, one of the two. Pitch, swing, ground ball down the third baseline. Nieves with a diving backhand grab. He'll come up firing to first in time to get Geiger. A great play there by Nieves. Boy, first action at third base this season, and he gets a hot shot down the line while being drawn in on the infield. Flashing the leather there and keeping the runner over there at third from scoring. Had that ball gotten past, both those runs score for sure. Easy. Harrison Kane to the plate, infield still drawn in as there's only one out on the inning. Kane 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored in the ball game. Inside. Some of these umpires are very either demonstrative or vocal with their balls and strike calls. Gardner probably the most vocal I've heard, although Taylor Payne was also very demonstrative. He'd give you the signals a lot from behind the plate and also yell out the count. The pitch taken for a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Rondon backing up the throw back to the pitcher. Denker as well a little bit, but Rondon getting directly behind the pitcher. Denker just a little bit to the right of the bag at second behind him. 2-1 the count. Time called by the batter Kane, I do believe. Coach is going to go out and have a chat with Usui. Something that was pointed out to me the other day that I never really realized was happening, but a lot of catchers in the big leagues, at least, I don't know, I have to look for it here. I don't know that I've seen many do it. When they throw the ball back to the pitcher, they'll actually step with their right foot and throw with their right hand. Pretty much all catchers in the big leagues. I don't know if there's any left-handed catchers in the big leagues. Usually a catcher is right-handed. That's the smart baseball way to go. You have right-handed catchers. Left-handed catchers aren't really a thing. 2-1 the count to Kane. Usui fires away. It's bounced in front of home plate, blocked by Coach. Count now 3 balls and a strike. There is action in the Lemurs bullpen. Looks like Harold Guerrero throwing. But I thought it interesting because you have catchers that have problems sometimes throwing it back to the pitcher. And so to resolve that, because they're used to just firing it full speed down to a base, usually to second, to catch a runner stealing. And so to try and take it off and just throw it halfway to the pitcher. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, called a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count. 2 men on. Geiger at second, and at third, Middlestat. 7-6 the score. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts right now in the bottom of the 7th here in Wichita. Game 1 of a 4-game series with the Wingnuts. But I thought it interesting. It's kind of the same but different of how a first baseman will flip the ball to a pitcher covering the bag. He'll step with his right foot as he underhands it to the pitcher covering a bag. Here comes the pitch to Kane. A swing and a pop-up foul, and that will go just off of the window right next to me. Whew. Making my heart beat a little bit. I have a big, long window, and then there's another room next to me where the press sits. And they have one of their 3 windows open in their room, and it hit the one closest to me that was closed. So the count's still 3-2 to Kane. And the pitch from Usui. Swung and a chopper back on the infield. It's grabbed by Denker, the second baseman. He'll sling it to first after looking back Middlestat at third. 4-3 the put out. Nice work by Usui to induce the ground ball and to battle back after being down 3-1 in the count. There's now 2 outs and 2 men on in scoring position. Lemurs 1 out away from getting out of the jam with giving up just the 1 run that's already scored. Boy, the balls, and the thing is, the balls that come into the booth, most of the time they're not decelerating yet. They're at least maintaining speed. They're not falling down. They're still almost rising up. They're not on the decline, that's for sure. So they come back hard, and now Pete Caviglia is going to come out of the dugout. Looks like we will have a pitching change for the Lemurs. As we've already surpassed now 3 hours of game time. We're still in the bottom of the 7th. And we will come back with a new pitcher in a moment. Lemurs trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 7th by a score of 7-6 to the Wingnuts.
Services from physical therapy to...
We'd like to imagine that if you're listening to this, it's on a radio in a backyard in between innings. The grass was mowed this morning, and the grill smells like heaven. And what do you know? Your friends just arrived with a 24-pack of Miller Lite, along with a few new friends to enjoy them with. Here's hoping we're right, and you're not just stuck in traffic. Here's hoping it's Miller time.
Great beer, great responsibility. 2015 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
South Texas families never strike out with Driscoll Health Plan. Catch the value-added services we pitch to our Medicaid members. Enjoy a free membership to specific boys and girls clubs. Receive gift cards for completing Texas healthcare checkups. Restrictions and limitations may apply. Visit us at DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Falcon Bank and the Laredo Lemurs are a winning combination. At Falcon, they know what counts. Personalized service, attention to detail, and genuine commitment to helping customers achieve their dreams. Falcon Bank, guided by faith, grounded by family, and committed to you.
The Chop House Cheddar Burger is back at Whataburger.
First of all, you start with a large bun, 2 patties,
Shredded cheddar cheese.
A creamy sauce.
Creamy steak sauce.
My personal favorite part is the onions, the grilled onions and bacon.
Grilled perfection.
It's good stuff. Love it. You take a bite. It's hard to describe. It's hard to put into words.
The Chop House Cheddar Burger.
Chop House Cheddar Burger. It's back.
I don't have anything else to compare it to. It's the best out there, I think. The Chop House Cheddar Burger is back.
Only at Whataburger and only for a limited time.
Chavarrias Plumbing's the #1 choice for any plumbing problem. Chavarrias is a full-service company with up-to-date technology, trained professionals. With over 30 years of service to the community, Chavarrias is still growing strong. Visit chavarriasplumbing.com and go Lemurs!
There's a reason why Popeyes creates some of the best tasting chicken in the world. We were born in New Orleans, Louisiana, the land of good fun and great cooking. Spicy flavor is a way of life in New Orleans, and everything we make reflects it. From our Popeyes bona fide chicken and handcrafted tenders to our home-style mashed potatoes with Cajun gravy and our soft buttery biscuits, everything we make is made with care and served up fresh. Only at Popeyes.
Harold Guerrero in to pitch the lefty, and he's going to have to face against a righty in Brent Dean. Dean the catcher. Guerrero, with 2 men on, enters the ball game. Pitch on the inside corner, called a strike, 0-1. Guerrero enters the ball game with a 0-0 record, 6 appearances, an 8.59 earned run average. Pitch fouled away and off the windows again of the room next to me, except this time it was at the window that was open, but it hit. So there's 2 windows here, right? Each window slot has a window on the bottom and a window on the top. The window on the top does not open, and that one hit the top of the window, or the top portion of the window that was open, so that was closed. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, oh well. Count 1 and 2 after that pitch missed outside to Dean. One ball, 2 strikes, the count to Dean. Guerrero will fire away. Swinging a fly ball foul, right side and out of play. Dean stays alive. Yeah, I do fear a little bit back here because there's not a whole lot of time to react. Well, it's not that there's not time to react, it's that I'm stuck in a chair. And to have to get up out of the chair or to move in the chair, it's pretty difficult. And I've got this electrical equipment around me. The pitch outside for a ball. It's not like I'm just standing along the baselines like the coaches and I can just jump or dodge to either side. I'm sitting with my legs under a desk. So mobility is at a minimum. Really just got to use the arms to try to block the ball. 2-2 the count, the pitch. They will appeal after the check swing. Didn't go through the zone. Didn't look like it was really close to me. 3-2, the count now full after that pitch was in the dirt or into the turf. So a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Dean. Runners on second and third. Geiger at second and at third, Middlestat. 7-6 the score. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts. Payoff pitch, a check swing. It'll go back to the screen. 1 run will come across as Middlestat scores. And down to first goes the batter in Dean. I don't know if he went through the zone or if that was ball 4. Either way, it's a live ball. Runners can advance. I thought he made contact with it for a half second because of how that came off, but I think it's a ball and a walk. That'll be a wild pitch. Advancing Geiger to third and scoring TJ Middlestat. So the score now 8-6. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts. Runners on the corners. And Leo Vargas to the plate. 2 for 3 in the game is Vargas. He hasn't scored, though. He's been stranded at second and stranded at third. There's a swing and a high fly ball into right center. Tracking it is Wilson, and he'll make the catch. That'll end the inning. So Vargas sees just 1 pitch, and he flies out to right. That'll end the inning. We go to the top of the 8th. 2-run score for the Wingnuts in the bottom of the 7th. It's now an 8-6 ball game. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts. Laredo coming to the plate in the 8th.
Core Business Solutions is a proud sponsor of Lemurs Baseball. Core Business Solutions services the 17 southernmost counties of Texas as well as areas of northern Mexico. They offer a wide range of high-tech solutions for businesses and organizations. Make Core Business Solutions your solution today.
Driscoll Health Plan loads the bases with value. We knock it out of the park with all the value-added services we bring to our Medicaid members. Driscoll families cheer on the Grand Slam packages, sports physicals, free memberships to Boys and Girls Clubs, and dental care for pregnant women over 21. Take a swing at our baby showers offered by Cadena de Madre. Forget those peanuts and Cracker Jacks, root for our baby blankets and more. Come slide into home when you receive gift cards for completing Texas Health Steps checkups and attending postpartum visits on time. Don't miss a play. Restrictions and limits may apply. Visit DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Quench your thirst at a Lemurs game with a beverage from Southern Distributing Company. Try mainstays like Miller Lite, Miller 64, and Coors Original, or reach for a Red's Apple Ale or Leinenkugel. Batch 19's the newcomer, a pre-prohibition beer inspired by the last batches of beer brewed before 1919.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to fewer guys with beer bellies, which led to more women attracted to those guys, which led to dates, second dates, wedding bells, and honeymoons, which led to hubbada, boom, which led to you. Miller Lights, we invented light beer, and you're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
For all of your vehicle collision repair and paint needs, there's only one place to turn, Mike's Paint Place. Mike's Paint Place has computerized color matching and digital imaging. They also do full frame and suspension repairs. Stop by and see Mike's Paint Place today at 6410 Polaris Drive in Laredo.
Texas Outlaw Grill is a proud sponsor of your Laredo Lemurs, specializing in outlaw delicacies such as the Texican, the Gringo, and the Bandit hot dog and their ever-famous barbecue burger. Be the first to try their groundbreaking Cabrito hamburger and Cabrito hot dog. For all to-go orders, catering, and fundraising information, go by 5209 Springfield Suite number 4 or call 956-771-1919. That's Texas Outlaw Grill.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que le salió el primer diente a tu hijo? ¿Que tu abuelita
Travis
aprendió
Anker
a
leads off
tuitear?
the inning against the Wichita Wingnuts here in the top of the 8th. he was the only batter to not come to the plate in the 7th. He lines one over the glove of a leaping Stringer at second into right center for a base hit. Travis Denker, first pitch, line drive, single. Start off the 8th. Well, it's a good way to get things started as the Lemurs trail by 2, 8-6. And Dennis Phipps to the plate, the DH. I believe that's still Roman out there on the hill. And Denker, there's no one to coach first base right now. He had to shed all of his batting gloves and his protective armor that he wears on his arm. I don't think we got someone out there. I think it's Scott Garner going to coach first this inning instead of Troy Marks. Pitch a ball down and away to Dennis Phipps, who walked last time up, the first of 3 straight walks for the Lemurs. Well, 3 actually scored. So the Lemurs finally last inning made him pay. I mentioned 11 walks in the ball game for Wichita pitching. Pitch down and away, 2-0. 11 walks, and only 4 of those walked batters have ended up scoring. Four walks that the Lemurs have dished out have scored for the Wingnuts. 2-0 pitch. Phipps swinging at a pitch that was inside and missed badly. Looked like he was trying to hit it with the handle of his bat. It was so far inside. 2-1 the count. Yeah, 7 walks issued by the Lemurs tonight, and they've managed to drive in. 4 of them have the Wingnuts. So when you compare that, the same amount of walks have scored, but well, the Wingnuts have walked us 4 more times. You'd like to think we could have at least driven 1 or 2 extra runs across. Pitch down and away. 3 balls, 1 strike to count to Phipps. But still in the ball game. Just a 2-run game here in the top of the 8th. And pitching has not been the Wingnuts' forte this season so far. So for the Lemurs bats, which have been getting hot here lately, already 6 runs in the ball game, can put up some more. There's a foul ball just down to my left. Boy, they've been getting close tonight. So full count here to Dennis Phipps, 3-2. And Phipps will call time, stepping out of the box. He's going to make sure his jersey's fitting nice and loose on him and fix those batting gloves up, dig back in. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runner on first base, it's Denker after singling on the first pitch in the 8th. Lemurs trailing by a pair of runs. 7 hits in the ball game for the Lemurs, 8 for the Wingnuts. This had a bunch of walks today. And the payoff pitch down and away, ball 4. That's the 12th walk of the ball game issued by Wingnuts pitching. And there's going to be a little mound visit by Dean, the catcher. Abel Nieves to the plate. So Abel Nieves with runners on first and second. Nieves, who has walked twice, doubled in the ballgame, 1 for 2 overall. Denker at second, Phipps at first. An excellent chance for the Lemurs here again this inning to score some runs. As setting on the hill there and firing. Called a strike, 0-1. Is Roman. Fabian Roman. He's the 5th pitcher of the ball game for the Wingnuts. And the pitch high for another ball. Well, it's just 1-1. Another ball this inning, though. Roman, who pitched for the Billing Mustangs in 2014. He also played in 2013 in the Reds organization. Pitch swung on and popped up right side toward in foul territory, and it'll just get out of play. Second row of the seats. Geiger couldn't get there in time and lean over. I don't know that he would have had room to lean over. Count 1-2 to Nieves. In 2014, Roman pitched in 19 games, had a 4.41 ERA, was 3-2, all games in relief. 32 2/3 innings pitched. Overall, in the Reds organization, he pitched in 40 games, all out of the bullpen. Was 4-4 with a 5.28 ERA and 59 2/3 innings. He sets out on the hill and delivers a 1-2 pitch. Nieves taking in the turf. Count evens up at 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Roman sets, looks back at second, delivers, swinging a chopper towards the shortstop Vargas. He's going to field it, go to second for 1, and the relay to first is in time. A 6-4-3 double play, getting Phipps and Nieves retired. Danker goes up to third. So 2 outs on the inning, runner at third for the Lemurs, and Drew Martinez to the plate. 1 for 1, 3 walks, and a run scored tonight.
Center fielder number 4, Drew Martinez.
Martinez has walked his last 3 times at the plate. Chance for him to, well, at least get the Lemurs within 1 if he can just get a base hit here. With Danker standing over at third base, Roman sets on the hill. And the pitch, swinging a chopper behind the plate. It'll go up to the screen. I look down, and the way they have the screen here, it's not a very tall screen, which is why you can have balls come into the broadcast booth. The screen does not go up very high, and to protect the fans behind the screen, they have another screen, netting, whatever you want to call it, that slants up all the way back to the wall, here where the press box is, but it stops, well, probably about 10 feet below the press box. Maybe not quite that much, 5-6 feet. 0-1 the count to Martinez. The pitch swung and grounded hard down the first baseline. Geiger dives. He scrambles to his feet, flipping to Roman at the bag, and a bang-bang play will get Martinez. Boy, a great play there by Geiger to field it and flip it. Martinez thought he had beat it out for a second there. It was close, but no dice. Lemurs strand a runner at third. We go to the bottom of the 8th. A score of 8-6. Laredo trailing Wichita here in Wichita, Kansas.
Falcon Bank and the Laredo Lemurs are a winning combination. At Falcon, they know what counts. Personalized service, attention to detail, and genuine commitment to helping customers achieve their dreams. Falcon Bank, guided by faith, grounded by family, and committed to you.
The Chop House Cheddar Burger is back at Whataburger.
First of all, you start with a large bun, 2 patties,
Shredded cheddar cheese.
The creamy sauce.
Creamy steak sauce.
My personal favorite part is the onions, the grilled onions and bacon.
Grilled perfection.
It's good stuff. Love it. You take a bite. It's hard to describe. It's hard to put into words.
The Chop House Cheddar Burger.
Chop House Cheddar Burger. It's back.
I don't have anything else to compare it to. It's the best out there, I think. The Chop House Cheddar Burger is back.
Only at Whataburger and only for a limited time.
Chavarria's Plumbing's the #1 choice for any plumbing problem. Chavarria's is a full-service company with up-to-date technology, trained professionals. With over 30 years of service to the community, Chavarria's is still growing strong. Visit chavarriasplumbing.com and go Lemurs!
There's a reason why Popeyes creates some of the best tasting chicken in the world. We were born in New Orleans, Louisiana, the land of good fun and great cooking. Spicy flavor is a way of life in New Orleans, and everything we make reflects it. From our Popeyes bona fide chicken and handcrafted tenders to our home-style mashed potatoes with Cajun gravy and our soft buttery biscuits, everything we make is made with care and served up fresh. Only at Popeyes.
Core Business Solutions is a proud sponsor of Lemurs Baseball. Core Business Solutions services the 17 southernmost counties of Texas as well as areas of northern Mexico. They offer a wide range of high-tech solutions for businesses and organizations. Make Core Business Solutions your solution today.
Driscoll Health Plan loads the bases with value. We knock it out of the park with all the value-added services we bring to our Medicaid members. Driscoll families cheer on the Grand Slam packages, sports physicals, free memberships to Boys and Girls Clubs, and dental care for pregnant women over 21. Take a swing at our baby showers offered by Cadena de Madre. Forget those peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Root for our...
Jose Navarre to the mound for the Lemurs here in the bottom of the 8th. He'll have the top of the order to deal with for the Wingnuts. Stringer, Cox, and Cleveland. Stringer 1 for 2, 2 walks in the ball game. Navarre, the righty, against the lefty in Stringer. This season, Navarre has been pretty solid out of the pen for the Lemurs. 0-0 with a 3.18 ERA. First pitch, called a strike to Stringer. He has thrown in 6 ball games, 5 2/3 innings pitched. Struck out 11 batters, just 1 walk, 4 hits, 2 runs, all earned. Next pitch will miss the zone, and it's 1-1. Navarre's up there in appearances this season. He's tied for the league lead with Harold Guerrero, so both pitching today, and they will take the lead, or at least remain tied with other people, for the league lead in appearances with 7. The pitch from Navarre fouled away, and it's 1-2. I hit something really hard back there, off to the left side. Take another look around the scoreboard here in the American Association. As pretty much everybody should have finals at this point. It's almost 10:30. We're still not done yet, though. Charging on. As we're past 3.5 hours, or approaching 3.5 hours. Pitch inside. 2-2 the count. As we mentioned earlier, final in Gary, the Gary South Shore Railcats, falling to the Kansas City T-Bones 7-1. Navarre setting 2-2 the count, and the pitch to Stringer. Swung on and hit into shallow right down the line, and it'll fall in for a hit. Not hit hard, but well, placed well enough, and Stringer will have a double down the right field line with his speed. And there's a runner on in scoring position to lead off the inning for the Wingnuts. Final in Fargo, the Sioux City Explorers win 8-7 over the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks. Of course, a rain out over in Joplin. The Blasters and Saints did not play today. The Airhogs came back and beat the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Took 10 innings, though. 3-1 final there. As Lincoln was up 1-0 for a while, but I guess the Airhogs tied it in the top of the 9th and then scored a couple more runs in the 10th. As they are on the road. Winnipeg won today 3-2 at home against the Sioux Falls Canaries. The next batter, Zach Cox, runner on second. The pitch swung and fouled off left side. So even if the Lemurs lose today, they'll still be in first place as they have a 2-game lead over the Grand Prairie Airhogs. The Texas Airhogs. So with Texas's win, and if Laredo loses, it'll still be a 1-game lead for the Lemurs here in the early parts of the season. 0-1 the count. The pitch to Cox, swing and a grounder right side, foul. And the count now 0-2 to the third baseman, who is 0 for 4 today.
Right now, buy gift cards at Quick Shop and earn 4 times the fuel points. Find the perfect gift for Father's Day or any other special occasion when you choose from your favorite stores and online retailers.
Runner on second, that's Stringer. No outs on the inning. Navarre looks back over at second. It's a 2-run ball game right now, 8-6 the score. Pitch outside. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th. It'll be Coach Wilson and Rondon, the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Lemurs. And the pitch, swing, ground ball, right side. It'll be right at Poso, the first baseman. It took a big hop, though. He'll tag the bag himself. 3 unassisted. Going up to third base, though, is Christian Stringer. So runner on third, no outs. And I'm getting texts about, or messages about the NBA game. I didn't realize they played this early today. Out in Golden State, the Warriors won 96-88 over the Thunder. And, oh, boy. The Warriors, who were once thought dead in the water, down 3-1 in the series. With a game still to play in OKC, end up winning the series in 7. Steph Curry dropping 36 points, Klay Thompson 21, and Draymond Green 11 for the Warriors tonight. Durant led the way for the Thunder with 27 points. Brent Cleveland at the plate, DH today, 1 for 3 in the ball game, 2 strikeouts, a walk, a single, 2 runs scored. Pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. So there's your other sport other than baseball update. Want to know the count. Infield in. Nieves playing a little bit further back at third. I'll see a ball hit to him. Third base, the runner at third probably not going home. And the pitch into the turf. 2-0. This ball hit to him is probably going to be pretty hard, so he's trying to give himself a little bit extra time to make the play. 2-0 the count to Cleveland. Navarre in your infield with the ejection of Pulfer earlier in the ball game is Nieves at third, Rondon at second, Rondon at short, Danker at second, and Poso at first. And a line drive through the drawn-in infield on the right side between Poso and Danker. Nothing they could do about it. Maybe if they were playing back, maybe Danker has a shot at it. But even then, I doubt that gets through. I doubt that he does. It's an RBI single for Brent Cleveland. It's now a 3-run ball game. Wingnuts lead 9-6. Second hit of the ball game for Cleveland, his first RBI, as Stringer scores from third. To the plate, TJ Middlestat. And the pitch, Middlestat taking down and away, 1-0. Let's tack another run up there on that scoreboard. Infield playing him to Poole. Just a hair. Shaded a little bit towards that right side. The pitch low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Navarre looks back over at first as he comes set. Right-hander on the hill, lefty at the plate. The pitch, Middlestat taking low. 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes to count to Middlestat, the cleanup hitter in the order for the Wingnuts, and no activity in the Lemurs' pen. They're probably just going to let Navarre go until he finishes this inning. Rondon's going to go out and talk to him on the hill, the shortstop. I don't know who would catch the bullpen with Poso, the backup catcher, over at first base. I guess just one of the other pitchers. Or maybe, see who's on the bench, maybe Cesar Valera. Those would be your options. Pitch called a strike outside corner. 3 balls and a strike to Middlestat. But down 3 in the bottom of the 8th. You don't want to burn another reliever here if you don't have to. The pitch runner moving. Called a strike. No throw by Coach. He looked like he was going to throw and then didn't. It's a stolen bag for Brent Cleveland. So a full count now to TJ Middlestat as Navarre settles down after 3 straight balls. He's now got a full count. Runner at second. 1 out here in the 8th, although that stolen bag now eliminates a chance of double play, at least in the natural way. The pitch into the turf at the plate, and Middlestat couldn't find it. Middlestat was trying to avoid stepping on it. It was right around his feet. Coach couldn't find it for a second as they wanted to try to keep Cleveland over there at second base. He doesn't go anywhere, though. And it's the 3rd time TJ Middlestat has walked today. Bringing Dustin Geiger to the plate. He is 2 for 4, an RBI single, and a solo home run in the ball game already. Strikeout and a flyout tonight as well. So the big hitter for the Wingnuts at the plate. It's a 3-run ball game, 9-6. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts here in the bottom of the 8th. Navarre with the pitch. Swung on and fouled away right side. 0-1. I really am missing that scoreboard out there in left center, that old scoreboard. I tried to find out where it was sent off to. Their broadcaster here, Rob Lowe. No, not that Rob Lowe, but the other Rob Lowe. Called a strike. 0-1, the one who's my age and is broadcasting. But he told me they sent it off somewhere. He didn't know where. He couldn't remember where off the top of his head. So I don't know where it went. My guess is to a museum or something. Pitch down and away, 1-2. But it's gone. They still have the framing of it out there, though. The metal working behind it that was supporting it. And the little walkway that the people would stand on to change the numbers in the back. Pitch just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count evens up here to Geiger. But it was a cool feature of this classic ballpark. One of the oldest in the country. And the pitch taken for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, a full count. So another full count. Runners on first and second for the Wingnuts. Over at first is Middlestat. At second is Cleveland. Navarre setting on the hill. I was trying to find their game notes, how old the ballpark was. There's a swing and a shallow fly to center. It'll fall in for a hit. Rounding third and being given the stop sign. Oh, boy, there's going to be a pickle now as Middlestat thought Cleveland was going to go home. Middlestat called out at second. I don't know if the tag was applied or if he ran out of the baseline, but he is called out as the third base coach gave the stop sign to Cleveland over at third. I guess was either concerned about Martinez or was trying to not run up the score. It would have been a good – Martinez probably could have had a shot at Cleveland there. It'll be a single for Geiger, but fortunately for the Airhogs, Middlestat was being a little over-aggressive. Cleveland was stopped well after he rounded. He had rounded third and had come a long way. So that's why Middlestat thought he was going to go all the way. So it was that 8 to someone cut it off, I think. Poso did, yeah, 8-3 to 6, something like that. Here comes the pitch to Richard Prigatano. Inside and low for a ball, 1-0. So 1 out on the inning. Runners on the corners. Geiger at first and Cleveland over at third. As Lemurs try to limit the damage here in the 8th. Already 1 run has scored, that being Christian Stringer, who's doubled to start off the inning. Actually, 2 outs on the inning, sorry. I forgot about the Zach Cox out earlier. Swing and a miss. Going to pitch into the turf. 1-1 the count. Navarre came running home as that pitch was into the turf. Worried that maybe got past coach or that coach couldn't find it. Trying to protect that. Well, trying to keep it at a 3-run ball game here. And head into the 9th with that. 1-1 the count here to Prigatano, who is 1 for 4, the single and a run scored. The pitch, Prigatano has a big swing and a miss at the curveball, and it's 1-2. Navarre's really had a battle here this inning. Giving up a trio of hits and a walk. So far just surrendering the 1 run. And has 2 outs. Navarre steps off the rubber, calls time. As he's going to go grab the rosin bag after wiping some sweat from his brow. And what was the third base umpire, Kurt Brannon, was clapping and almost shooing Navarre back to the mound as if to say, hurry up. 1-2 pitch, runner moving from first. It's fouled back on top of the screen behind home plate. Count still 1-2. And earlier I was trying to tell you, as I was explaining the screen, I looked down and right below me, the screen kind of right where the top of the screen ends and then it starts the cover portion of it. It kind of sags right there, and 2 baseballs have Well, there was just one baseball down there. That baseball just joined it together. As the pitch comes in, and it's up and in. Look out. And the batter, Prigatano, tosses his helmet. I think he's trying to say it hit him. I don't know that hit him. Coach caught the ball. But Prigatano tossed the helmet himself. It didn't just come off because of contact. 2-2 the count now to Prigatano. He tried to say, it hit me. Now Pete Rose Jr. going to come out of the dugout. He's going to talk to the home plate umpire, Mike Gardner. The runner at first, Geiger, was moving on the pitch. Navarre throws mid to upper 90s. If it hits you, if that hit him, I think Prigatano would be in a little more pain than he is showing. They've clocked Navarre at 98 this season. Maybe even more. I don't think Prigatano will be standing there right now. He'd be on the ground or trying to walk something off if it had actually hit him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Runners in the corners. There goes Geiger again. It's into the turf, ball 3. So the count now full. The ball somehow squirted but underneath the legs of Coach, but it ended up stopping just about a foot behind him. Geiger gets himself a steal. And the count to full, 3-2. Navarre sets on the hill. And the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. Navarre works himself out of the jam. Does give up a run, though, and it's now a 3-run game. We go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Lemurs. They trail 9-6 to the Wingnuts.
Quench your thirst at a Lemurs game with a beverage from Southern Distributing Company. Try mainstays like Miller Lite, Miller 64, and Coors Original, or reach for a Red's Apple Ale or Leinenkugel. Batch 19's the newcomer, a pre-prohibition beer inspired by the last batches of beer brewed before 1919.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to fewer guys with beer bellies, which led to more women attracted to those guys, which led to dates, second dates, wedding bells, and honeymoons, which led to hubba-da, boom, which led to you. Miller Lights, we invented light beer, and you're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
For all of your vehicle collision repair and paint needs, there's only one place to turn, Mike's Paint Place. Mike's Paint Place has computerized color matching and digital imaging. They also do full frame and suspension repairs. Stop by and see Mike's Paint Place today at 6410 Polaris Drive in Laredo.
Texas Outlaw Grill is a proud sponsor of your Laredo Lemurs, specializing in outlaw delicacies such as the Texican, the Gringo, and the Bandit Hot Dog and their ever-famous barbecue burger. Be the first to try their groundbreaking Cabrito Hamburger and Cabrito Hot Dog. For all to-go orders, catering, and fundraising information, go by 5209 Springfield Suite number 4 or call 956-771-1919. That's Texas Outlaw Grill.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que le salió el primer diente a tu hijo? ¿Que tu abuelita aprendió a tuitear? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? La respuesta es la misma, pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres, pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo, carne asada con ganas, solo en H-E-B.
Matt Coach leads off the inning against Frankie Reed, new pitcher in the ballgame. Reed fires just a bit low and inside for a ball, 1-0. Coach to the plate for the 4th time tonight. He is 1 for 2, 2 walks, 3 RBIs, and a run scores. Coach swings and fouls it away, out of play, right side, 1-1. Reed this season, 1-1 with an ERA of 6, 3 appearances. He has 1 save, 3 innings pitched. He's given up 2 runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. So Reed has had some form of a decision in all 3 of his outings. He's either had a win, a loss, or a save, and Coach puts a ride into that one, and that ball will hit off the middle of the wall in left center, and then spiking it into the ground is Middlestat. Coach would have had a double anyways, but you don't see that often. Middlestat just threw it, and like Rob Gronkowski for the Patriots, just spiked it right into the ground. It ended up rolling forward a good 30 feet probably before Kane picked it up. Boy, had that been one of the faster guys on the team instead of the catcher, Matt Coach, might have gotten to third on it, but Coach with a double to start off the inning. Good way to start things off. Reed, the lefty from San Diego, California, pitched with the Wingnuts last year. 6 foot. The pitch to Reggie Wilson, the lefty, called a strike, 0-1. Lemurs trailing 9-6 right now in the top of the 9th. Going to need at least 3 runs to keep the game going. Reed sets out there on the mound, looks back over at second. No one holding Coach on. The pitch down and away for a ball. 1-1. Lemurs have had some big 9th innings here the last few nights, or big last innings, we'll put it that way. Pitch on the outside corner. Wilson didn't like the call. He's having some words with the home plate umpire. I can hear the coaches from the dugout saying, "Come on, Reg, let's go." Or someone from the dugout, and now time is called. Reggie's going to step out of the box and walk around. Take a couple of hacks. I don't know if he's saying anything, but the home plate umpires motions with an open hand to Reggie and then over to the batter's box to say, "Come on, get in the box." 9th inning, we all want to go home. The pitch on the outside corner at the knees, and Reggie really doesn't like that call either. Gets him looking, and Rondon just runs up to the batter's box, and Wilson's been tossed, and now Wilson's trying to get his way to the umpire after having been tossed, and he slams the bat onto the ground as he's holding the bat in his hand. Pete's going to come out of the dugout as the third base umpire, Kurt Brandon, comes in to try to get between the home plate umpire. Wilson's still got the bat in his hand as he waved it in front of the umpire's face. Boy, Wilson was not happy. Rondon tried to protect Wilson. He ran out there. As soon as that strikeout happened, he saw Wilson started John with the home plate umpire to try to keep him in the ball game. He ran out there to get between them and try to push him towards the dugout, but Wilson wasn't having any of it, and he kept yelling and got tossed, and then Rondon couldn't keep him from getting past him. I think that's why Rondon is playing baseball and not playing offensive line in any professional level of football. More of a turnstile than a wall. But Pete's going to argue it up with Kurt Brandon, third base umpire. This is probably the 4th time Pete's come out today. Came over at the play at first. Came out when Pulfer got tossed. And I thought there was one other time he came out, but at least this time. It's at least been 3 times. So the second player of the ballgame to get tossed. Reggie Wilson joining J.D. Pulfer over in the clubhouse. But it might just be a couple of outs before the game ends anyways. We shall see if the Lemurs can come back in it. Rondon to the plate, 1 out, runner on second. It's certainly not over. Like I said, the Lemurs have had some late inning, some big runs in late innings, or big late innings. There we go. Pitch up high and out of the zone for a ball, 1-0. 10th inning, 2 nights ago in Grand Prairie, Texas. The Lemurs scored 4 runs in the 10th inning. The night before that, in the 9th inning, as that pitch, a chopper towards short, Vargas going to come in, then take a half step back, fire into the turf in front of first. Geiger will pick it out in time to get Rondon. 6-3 the put out. Coach will go over to third on the ground out. 2 outs, runner on third. In the 9th inning, in the opening game against the Air Hogs, the Lemurs scored 6 runs in the 9th inning. Ty Morrison to the plate, 9-6 the score. 2 outs, runner on third. Lemurs trailing the Wingnuts. So they've had some big innings late in the ball game before here in the last few days. Pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. But they're going to need 3 more runs still here in the ball game. Reggie Wilson's still actually in the dugout. He has been tossed from the game. The pitch up and in. Umpires probably just said, go ahead and stay in the dugout because we know you're going to – the clubhouse is in the left field, beyond the left field wall there. So he'd have to walk on the field of play. And, Wilson probably would have taken his time, and the game would have just kept going. Ground ball towards second. This should be it for the Lemurs, and Stringer will throw over to first, and that is the ball game. Lemurs fall tonight by a score of 9-6 to the Wichita Wingnuts. We'll be back with a recap quickly here when we come back from this break. And 9-6 final in game one of the 4-game series here in Wichita between the Lemurs and the Wingnuts. Wingnuts take game one.
Getting hungry? Popeyes always hits the spot. Make sure to stop by any Popeyes location to try out Popeyes' new Smoky Garlic Chili Chicken Dinner. It includes 4 smoky garlic chicken tenderloins served with Popeyes' new garlic herb dipping sauce, your choice of a signature side, and a buttermilk biscuit for just $4.99. Promotion starts Monday, May 25th.
Right now, when you sign up for a Gold's Gym membership, you'll get tons of extras completely free. Confidence, free. Compliments from your coworkers, free. And the desire to wear tiny bathing suits, you guessed it, free. You'll be stronger with extras, and you'll be stronger with Gold's Gym. Know your own strength. Tiny bathing suit not included.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que por fin compraste carro nuevo? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? ¿Que hoy empieza tu fin de semana? ¿O que hoy se acaba tu novela y mañana empieza otra? La respuesta es la misma, pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres, pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. El carnesazo de H-E-B es una pachanga de sabor. Solo tienes que invitar a los compadres, prender la parrillita, ponerle unas fajitas, costillitas, chuletitas, salchichitas y, ¿por qué no?, hasta un pollo mariposita. Y que no se te olvide la musiquita y hasta una buena bailadita para un gran carnesazo. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo, carne asada con ganas, solo en H-E-B.
All right, James and Astor here with you as we wrap up this game. Lemurs fall 9-6 to the Wichita Wingnuts, and they will drop to 6-5 on the year. Still in first place, though. They lead by a game over the Texas Air Hogs for first place in the South Division. So not totally bad news tonight. Still early in the season, so it's not like it's a huge deal. But tough fought game for both teams. Just a 3-run loss for the Lemurs, and they had chances tonight. Take a look at those here. As in the first inning, well, Lemurs didn't have a whole lot of a chance. They got a leadoff single by Ty Morris, and he'd reach on a wild pitch to second. So they still had a runner on second, no outs, but he got stranded there. No one could score. Danker and Phipps would strike out back-to-back to end the inning. Wingnuts would score, run the first. They get a leadoff walk with Alejandro Artiega on the hill for the Lemurs. Artiega would walk the first batter's Christian Stringer. He'd steal second. Zach Cox would a grounder, and Stringer would go to third. Stringer would eventually score on a wild pitch. Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, on a wild pitch. Stringer would end up scoring the first run of the ball game. On a ball that went back to the backstop. So it was 1-0 after 1. Artiega will get 2 strikeouts in the inning, settling down. He did walk one more batter, though, TJ Middlestat, who had walked 4 times tonight. Lemurs would answer back in the second, though, tying it up. They got a leadoff double by Abel Nieves. Single by Drew Martinez pushed him to third. And a sac fly by Reggie Wilson scored him. Lemurs also get a hit by Alvaro Rondon, and they'd strand 2 men that inning there in the third. Or in the second. Moving on to the third, after a shutout second inning for Artiega, he went 3 up, 3 down. Looked like he really settled in there. Third inning, Lemurs took a lead. They got a 1-out walk of Travis Danker. Dennis Phipps would single. They'd each advance on a wild pitch to have runners on second and third with no outs. Abel Nieves would ground out. Drew Martinez would walk to load the bases, and then Matt Koch would walk with the bases loaded to drive in a run, his first RBI of the ballgame. He would have 3 tonight. Later on, well, fourth inning, after a shutout third inning for Artiega, again, 3 up, 3 down. Artiega went 3 up, 3 down in the second and in the third. In the fourth inning, the Lemurs would not score, but the Wingnuts would get to Artiega. They would lead off the inning with Brent Cleveland. He would walk, followed by a TJ Middlestat walk. Geiger would fly out. Richard Pregatano would single and drive in a run. Harrison Kane would walk. Brent Dean would single, drive in a run. Leo Vargas would also single to load the bases. And Christian Stringer would single to drive in a run. 4 runs would score there in the 4th inning, and it was a 6-2 ball game. Lemurs wouldn't do anything in the 5th. Well, I say wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't score. With 1 out, after Dennis Sips pop out to first, Abel Nieves, Drew Martinez, and Matt Coach would all walk to load the bases with 1 out, but Reggie Wilson would ground into a double play ball. And that, probably the best chance the Lemurs had in the ball game to score multiple runs. They did actually in the 3rd inning get bases loaded and not drive in any runs. Well, they drove in Danker, but then after that, with the bases still loaded, they wouldn't get the run. 2 outs, though, in that inning with the bases loaded. So with the 1 out, bases loaded, they got onto the double play to end it in the 5th. Then in the 6th inning, well, Lemurs didn't have anything going, but bottom of the 5th, the Wingnuts would score a run as they had a solo home run with 2 outs by Dustin Geiger off of Kyle Winkler. 7th inning, Lemurs, again, with the pitching staff for the Wingnuts walked a ton of batters tonight. They started off the inning walking Dennis Phipps, Abel Nieves, and Drew Martinez back to load the bases. Then Matt Coach would hit a double, drive in 2 runs. Then Reggie Wilson would walk. Alvaro Rondon had a grounder to second with the bases loaded to drive in a run. And then another ground out to second by Ty Morrison to drive in another run. So 4 runs scored in the 7th inning, 2 on ground outs, but Lemurs would take it any way they could. And they were within they tied it. They'd actually tied it up at that point, 6-6, but didn't last long. 7th inning came along, and Brent Cleveland would lead off with a single. TJ Middlestat would walk. Dustin Geiger would single, drive in a run, and Middlestat would end up scoring later on in the inning on a wild pitch. 2 runs 7th for the Wingnuts, and they were up 8-6. And in the 8th inning, they'd add another run, getting a leadoff double by Christian Stringer. He'd be driven in by Brent Cleveland on a RBI single. Could have been worse, though, in that bottom of the 8th. The Wingnuts against Jose Navarre. Navarre, though, worked out of a jam there that inning in the 8th. So give you your final numbers here in the ball game on some of these pitchers as soon as I have them. We'll start with the Lemurs. Artiega threw 4 innings tonight, gave up 5 runs on 4 hits, all earned, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. Kyle Winkler, 1 run on 1 hit, it was a solo home run, had 2 strikeouts in his inning of work. Luis De La Cruz, an inning, 1 walk, 1 hit, no strikeouts, no runs. Kamakani Usui, 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk. Harold Guerrero, 1/3 of an inning, he walked a batter, no strikeouts. And Jose Navarre, 3 hits, 1 run, it was earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout in his inning of work. For the Wingnuts on the hill, Anthony Capper got the start, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 7 walks, 3 strikeouts. Alex Boshears, an inning of shutout baseball, he gave up 1 hit. Richard Ruff didn't even record an out, and he gave up 3 runs, all earned. He walked 3 batters. He only faced 3 batters, walked them all to start the inning. Jesse Pratt threw an inning, gave up a hit, a run, it was earned, a walk, and a strikeout. Fabio Roman threw an inning, gave up a hit and a walk, but didn't allow anyone to score. And Frankie Reed also an inning. He gave up a hit and had 1 strikeout of shutout work there in the 9th, getting the save. Haven't seen who got the win or the loss tonight, as the official score is still trying to finalize things here. And with all those back and forth, I don't quite know who will get the win or the loss tonight. I'll take a look, though, at the scoreboard here. We'll see if he can get me that score sheet before we close out the postgame show. Tomorrow night, 7:05, Game 2 of the series, as Danny Moskovitz will be starting for the Lemurs, making his debut as a starter. He has pitched in relief this season against Tim Brown. Brown, a guy who throws a lot of strikes, doesn't walk many batters, so hopefully, well, Lemurs will take walks, but it just makes the ball game longer. So maybe we'll see some better quality pitching from the Wingnut side of things in terms of the walks, as they walked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 batters tonight. The Wingnuts walked in total. Finals all across the league. Kansas City winning in Gary 7-1 over the Gary South Shore Railcats. Sioux City winning on the road as well, 8-7 over the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. Rain out in Joplin between the Blasters and the St. Paul Saints. The Airhogs winning on the road 3-1 over the Lincoln Salt Dogs. And the Winnipeg Goldeyes winning at home 3-2. So only 2 home teams won today. The Wichita Wingnuts 9-6 over the Lemurs, and the Goldeyes 3-2 over the Sioux Falls Canaries. Again, tune in tomorrow, 7:05 first pitch. I'll have all of your action here on the Lemurs Broadcast Network. Until then, have a great night, everybody. James Asser signing off.